The tape. We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Yeah. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape,
The
bro.
tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday evening here on the network. I forgot to do it. Last show, best show. Forgot to tweet tease the entire internet. You know, everybody hates me for doing that one. I try to make it a tradition, but you know how my ADD brain be working out here nowadays. Sometimes I forget to do things. But last show, best show, absolutely jam-packed as per usual on a Thursday. I hope that remains the case throughout the offseason. Just slam-packed. Too much news to talk about type of Thursdays. Maybe. I don't foresee that to be in our future, but potentially. We have a national championship on Monday night, so we have our final thoughts on that game coming up tonight on this show. We also have our final thoughts on the 2025-2026 season, though it doesn't have its finality yet, at least its final bullet point, but we have several to talk about tonight. We also have our preseason predictions. We ripped them off the wall last night. We forgot to talk about them. We just ran out of time. Just way too much to talk about last night.
Too loaded.
We have them tonight. There's some good stuff here. We'll laugh at ourselves from back in August or crown ourselves absolute ultimate college football geniuses. Any of those? You think you have any of those on this list where you're like, wow, how about Brooks Stradamus on that one?
I'm pretty happy with how mine turned out. It could have been a lot better, though.
Okay. So we'll see how that goes down. Who's on the hot seat heading into 2026? We'll talk about it tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you're a new viewer tonight, welcome in to our live show. This is what we love to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the season. Last night was our final Wednesday show until August. We'll get into our off-season schedule. We'll be here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday live, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I saw that question over and over again last night. What are the off-season plans? Work. What you mean? Work. That's the off-season plan. We stay working around here during the off-season, so we will see you here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday during the off-season. We'll also be cranking out film studies, even though based off viewing of that Sam Levitt film study, I don't know if y'all ready to be watching all 22. I think y'all footballed out. We'll see.
Yeah, I think, and just coming from the standpoint of like us and even just being fans, there's that week and a half, 2 weeks where like, you know what? I kind of feel relaxed right now. I don't have to worry about football. I don't have to think about it. I can kind of just mindlessly watch NFL. And then once you get to late January, mid-February is when you're really like, when's college football coming back, huh?
Yeah.
I'm getting a little anxious here. So
We'll see. We'll see what the algorithm puts in our lap this offseason with regards to film shots. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, review. And that's what you can do. I can tell you that right now. As a viewer of this network, if you love this network, if you love supporting this network, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button and engaging, especially if you're in the live chat here tonight. That's how we get put in front of brand new people. And hopefully we can hook them for life like we've got you guys. All right, let's get after it. We always start with the news on the network. Guys, today, Texas signs Melvin Siani, an offensive tackle from Wake Forest. Funny enough, where were we headed?
We were headed out to College Station.
We were headed out to College Station, and I offered my scouting guy and my scouting services at the line of scrimmage to an SEC scouting department, and it was like, bang, here's a list of football players. I told Jonathan, we got to pull over. You got the whip for what, like 2 hours?
Yeah, 2.5.
And then I was over there going through some film. Shout out to the Verizon hotspot and I-75 cell phone service. We damn sure wasn't in Mississippi. I'll tell you that much.
Got to be the only guy shouting out Verizon right now.
yeah, for sure the only guy shouting out Verizon right now.
That's a great point. It's a tremendous
But you
point.
got $20.
For what?
You got
You
$20
get $20
credit.
off your credit, off your bill.
Thanks for that. Anyways, this was one of the football players on the list of several athletes that I scouted. So, do you want to hear the scouting report?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Twitch in the feet will overrun his man, though. Okay, little aggressive, little too fast for football play right about now. Got to slow down. Got to handle first level first. That's what we always tell young offensive linemen and professional offensive linemen. Hey, good strain on this football player, though. Great strain. I think he got a little shit to him. I think that was in my notes somewhere in here. Does a good job of protecting his hands in pass pro. We love that. All right, hands back when they swipe, then strike. You know what I mean? Blocks with his feet, redirects well.
How do you do that? You like lay on your back and put?
Keep them in your pocket spot. You got to block them with your feet.
That was me being a dad.
I know. Where were you at on that one?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Sorry, man.
You know
That's
what?
your bag now.
No. That's not on either of you guys. You know what that's on? That's on this guy, the boss, and the funder of operations in here for not having in-house audio for you to lob that joke to him, newfound dad. You know what? Just press a button and go, dad joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll
That's on me. That's
I'll
not on
reserve
y'all.
all dad jokes to
I've been getting my reps in.
Yeah? You been getting shots up?
Oh, yeah.
hit us with one right now.
On the spot? That's not how that works. That's not how dad jokes work.
That's absolutely how dad jokes work. 1,000%.
Not me. Not how my dad jokes
You gotta
are
have
work.
at least one in your pocket at all.
Nah,
times.
they're situational. I have a father-in-law who is dad joke goat. Okay?
that's
Shout
what
out
my
my
dad
father-in-law,
is, dude.
Papa Scott. That dude is legendary dad joke guy. And they're always in the moment. Best dad jokes come off of a sentence like you just tried to
Exactly.
do. That was a whiff. All right, so it was a good attempt, though.
What do you mean?
Anyways, way off the segment. That's my eval. All right, I think he's, or here's what I do have. No real indication of strength at the point, but thin-waisted and no ass. Can he dig out a defensive end in this conference, question mark? Anchor's okay in pass pro, though. I think he's a perfect eval for Texas if he has the hips to play in a wide zone system. Plays with his butt back a lot. I was telling y'all before the show, that's tend to get over our toes, tend to get snatched down. We got to learn how to play with our hips engaged. But ain't got no ass. You know, kind of flat-bottomed. Okay. I told you, we were watching film on the road, and I told you, hell, Jonathan, his pants keep falling down. That was the player I was talking about. He ain't got no ass. But yeah, good football player. I think he, is a good scheme fit, like I said. Should be noted, they're also hosting Jordan Seaton per reports.
Yeah.
And they've also already taken another offensive tackle.
Yeah, dude. Why not just spend another $4 million?
I got a long run on this. Now, I want to get out in front. And say, any Texas fan listening to me today, let me know and let everyone else know up front and foremost. they've already sent a lot of money up off the roster. A lot of guys that they might have swung and missed on, or maybe they don't like, right? Number 0, I think the Moore kid, he is a Colorado Buffalo now. Nick Brooks was a 5-star offensive tackle. He is no longer on the roster. Jamie French was a 5-star wide receiver. He is no longer on the roster. So there's a starting linebacker that got offered a bunch of money somewhere else. Lafafu. He's up off the roster. They've obviously lost a lot of NFL talent. Anthony Hill. There's a lot of money that has gone up off the roster. All that being said, in the last, week and a half, let me read off some names. And should be noted, all sourced, back checked, relatively in the ballpark range NIL is what I'm about to spit at you. We don't talk a lot of bag. We don't do a lot of pocket watching. But for this segment alone, I'm going to tell you they spent about $10 million in the portal. So that's where Texas is at. All right, Texas is like $10 million on 10 players type of investment into next season's result right here. Cam Coleman, about $3 million. Raleek Brown, the running back from Arizona State, $900,000. Hollywood Smothers, about 1.2, the running back from NC State. They doubled down with his interior offensive lineman, Daniel Cruz, about a $400,000 player, as are a lot of these players. But the big money was spent on players like Melvin Siani, who was the number 4 offensive tackle in the portal per on 3. That costs about $900,000 in the SEC and in Power 5 football if you're going to get a dude like that and take him from a roster like Wake Forest, okay? Other big name like spendings. Bo Masco, the corner from Rutgers. This was a player that played really, really well in the Big Ten, entered the portal because he needed to enter the portal and go play some premier football. And now he's going to get the opportunity to at a position of need for them as well. They took a defensive tackle from Arkansas, Ian Jaffard, from, matter of fact, Whitfield High School right down the road. Not really right down the road, Metro Atlanta. Nonetheless, they've spent a lot of money, about $10 million in the last, I would say, 2 weeks. But again, they've lost a lot of players too. It should be noted there. That's not to mention, by the way, players like Tyler Atkinson, Colin Simmons, Derek Cooper, Ryan Wingo, Dia Bell, Justice Terry, all of which I know for a fact, plus $900,000 players. We don't talk about Arch Manning when we talk about Texas's roster, and that is the thing. And that's it's unique to Arch Manning. No other player other than maybe Phillip Rivers' son, but probably not him because he's not a Manning. Unless Drew Brees is kid, even him, probably not. Arch Manning's the first and only quarterback that's worth $10 million on NIL that's actually getting $10 million on NIL, not getting rev share and funny money getting washed through NIL Go. We all agree there, right?
Yeah.
Like they're in a very unique situation. So I do think this is a $30 million roster. This is not a $35 million roster. This is not a $40 million roster. This is not absolutely insane. This is a lot of spending in this window for sure.
Yeah, and it's something that we kind of like, and it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Like, if you want to talk about whether or not this is ethical in college football, if this is good for the sport, all those things.
Oh, like, Gooseby. They paid him to come back too. Sorry. That's $1 million player.
That's a different conversation, but for the sake of what Texas needed to do and what Sark needed to do for this next coming season, this is absolutely how Texas needed to approach this offseason in the sense of this is our last year with Arch Manning. This is a year in which we feel like we have a national title window. Like when you wanted to speak of national title windows within a program, it was going to be in the years that Arch Manning was a starting quarterback, left over from the years that Quinn Ewers was a starting quarterback, considering the talent pool that you're bringing in from the high school ranks and all of that stuff, the returning players. This is a season that you need to push all your chips in. You need to do everything that you can to make sure that you maximize the season because the first year of Arch Manning, there were some holes on that roster. There were some issues in the secondary, on the offensive line, in the run game, all those things. This year, that can't be an excuse. This needs to be a year in which it feels like Texas is on top of the sport because it's the final year of Arch Manning and we approach this offseason in the correct way.
Yeah, no, we said before, like there are certain teams out here where it does feel like you kind of metaphorically put all your chips in on 1 year. Like it seemed like Ohio State did it last year. It seemed like Ole Miss did it last year as well, which was why what they did this season was such a surprise. But Texas is certainly gearing up for, hey, 2026 kind of has to be the window for us to win a national title, and they're spending accordingly.
I also think, like, what was it, last night or 2 nights ago when we talked about, or maybe it was Cam Coleman news drop, when we talked about that. I think the number one thing we talked about, all the weaponry. Wow. Hey, you better address the offensive line.
Yeah, they're doing it.
They've done it. I mean, they got a lot of bodies. I think they're pretty slap solid around. Maybe guard play might be a problem. I don't know. I think they got plenty of bodies. They took a guy from Oregon State. They took a Beaver. I mean, they took a lot of bodies.
Yep.
2 interior offensive linemen, 2 tackles already hosting a visit with Jordan Seaton, which if they throw $3 million, I'm sorry, at Jordan Seaton. If Jordan Seaton ends up at Texas, get out of my DMs talking about y'all ain't spending all this money. Because I did the defending. I'm trying to do the math, but it's about a $30 million roster.
Oh, yeah,
Jordan Seaton would make it 33. That's a lot.
They're spending a lot more than the supposed cap is, which,
Correct.
by the way, we all know. There's no need to hide it, no need to deny it.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Until College Sports Commission actually has, weight.
Sure.
Which I saw tweets today where it was like, we're not passing that until y'all move the bar up past 2020 is not enough. And I know where that came from. That came from those schools we keep talking about that obviously don't want to play under this 20 and a half, or at least pretend as if they do have a budget. That's the thing. There are some schools that very clearly are pretending they have a budget. We keep talking about this, and obviously schools that seem to have a bottomless pit or basin.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have this discussion before. Every school has a budget. Every school has an amount that
It's just different scales.
Yeah.
Vastly
it's
different
not
scales.
what you're allowed to spend. It's what you're capable of spending.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the budget
I
comes
saw one athletic administrator that was like, that's what we should do. No budget.
in. Yeah.
Just no cap. Just open reign. Do whatever you want. So there's that. Man, they got dudes. There's no doubt about that. Everyone says, well, they're always talented. I don't know if it's been this much. Not offensively. They have not been this talented offensively especially since they've been in the SEC. I mean, if they keep the quarterback upright, he's going to light somebody up for 400 this year.
They were pretty talented in 2023, I think.
Apparently, Jordan Seaton's visiting Mississippi State.
Correct, because his freshman offensive line coach that landed him at Colorado is currently coaching for Jeff Lebby.
Okay. All right.
That's a do me a favor, son. Come swing by here when you go discuss how much Ole Miss might throw at you.
Not to sidetrack the conversation, by the way, I think Mississippi State is up to 36 players in the portal right now. That is a roster that turns – I remember asking Jeff Lebby about this at SEC Media Days this past year of you've gone through 2 off seasons now where you've had 30-plus players into the transfer portal. Like, how do you go on combating that? And I can't remember exactly what his answer was, but, I mean, he's going to have to do it again this offseason. I mean, what a tough fight he's having to put up over there at Mississippi State.
The Bulldogs are sleeping on the portal and the effects of it.
Uh-oh.
You know you shouldn't sleep on, though, our friends over at Sleeper. If you head over there today and use promo code Brooks, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That means if you put 100 in, you get 100 back. If you're wondering, you haven't been paying attention to the show, hey, what's Sleeper? Let me tell you. It is the fantasy sports and real money gaming app that has brought people together through sports and gaming. It's the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the entire world. It has over 6 million active users as of 2023 and is earning some of the highest levels of engagement in the industry. It's not just about sports at Sleeper. It's about building personal connections. They are operational in 25 United States, including the state of Georgia. So head over there today and use promo code Brooks to get that deposit match.
Terrific ad read.
Had to get that one in before a next segment.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you doing that. This is a place of no judgment. It's like a place of absolute freedom. Nobody judges anybody.
Sure.
And you guys know me. I'm prone to a roller dog. I mean, or 3. You know, I'm okay with it. It's my first time being at a gas station at like 7:15 this morning. I went over to Grayson High School. They announced Greg Carswell. I played with him in college as the head coach. It's a tremendous opportunity for him. Had to be there.
Congratulations.
So first, tremendous. Congratulations, Greg. Big G is what we call him. First time being in a racetrack at 7:15 in the morning in a minute. It used to be a daily habit of mine in the construction world. And it reminded me that the amount of 30 to 50-year-old men that wake up every morning, walk into a gas station, grab 2 hot dogs, load them with onions, ketchup, mustard, with their large coffee, then go to work, knowing good and damn well, first of all, terrible decision about your gut health. But then to know good and damn well your only option for the next 6 to 7 hours is a porta-john outside of your job site. Mm-hmm. That's crazy work. Absolute crazy work. Mayhem.
Now, I've experienced something similar. I believe I was headed to your house on a college game day. It's like Saturday morning. Very similar thing. Now, you said this was a racetrack?
Yeah.
Okay, a racetrack.
No free ads.
So I stopped at the gas station right by your house. Now, racetrack, or whichever one of the establishments you'd like.
The Citgo?
A roller,
The orange one, the 7-6?
A roller dog.
Shout out my boy Ollie.
A roller dog from one of those places a little more acceptable than the local Citgo. So me walking in on a guy buying a slaw dog with mustard on it and a large coffee at 7 o'clock in the morning, that threw me for a loop. I was like, no, we can't be doing this, guys. Come on.
You know what? Not to be too graphic, but if I had to go in a porta-john, I don't want to be inside because I don't want no splash. Let's move on. Basketball shaving story, insane.
Crazy.
Point shaving story?
Yeah, so if you guys have been paying attention on social media lately, there was a big crackdown on a federal investigation of basketball players at the collegiate level partaking in some point shaving. It was at some smaller schools, nothing like major. Kennesaw State was one of the schools that was listed on the list. But I think the takeaway from this was just kind of, if this is going on in college basketball, what are the possibilities that this goes on in sports like college baseball or football? And to some degree, my take on it is this is definitely already happening. Now, you and I were having a discussion about it's harder to point shave and to kind of cheat on a football team because there's 11 players that have 11 different roles. Mm-hmm. Basketball, it's, hey, let me get the ball and miss a layup. Yeah. Stuff like that. It's a lot easier to change the dynamic of the game, whereas football, it's not. But player props are still a very real thing. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that, or if you're a wide receiver or a quarterback or a defensive back, like you can affect the game still.
It's obviously much more easily, like you said, easily impactable in basketball. I think the primary concern and what people have really started to leverage the market in and get caught doing is this player prop malpractice.
Definitely.
And in basketball, that's way easier to mess up than in football. I told you before the show, and I wholeheartedly still believe this. I hope this is the case. If you're going to fix gambling, like try to fix a game in football, I still believe you have to get to the quarterback. You got to get him fixed. You got to get something over on him to make sure he is controlling the full outcome of the game, at least one offensively. And then you got to assume that the defense gives up points as well to 100% put the fix in. And when these dudes go all the way as far as to put their lives on the line, literally their freedom, to fix sports, they better make sure it's 100% in. You know what I mean? They can't be playing with like 80% odds on their freedom to win $200,000. They got to be playing with 100% odds. So in football, that's one thing. It's way harder to do. In football also, we find the fishy way easier. Like I told you before the show, and I don't know who found it, but that Memphis bowl game, the very first bowl game was like December 10th, December 12th. Nobody's watching ball really, unless you're a sicko fan or a gambler. And a Memphis wide receiver breaks wide open in the open field and just like looks up and then just ducks out of bounds out of nowhere, like the 30-yard line. Yes. Nobody around him. Mm-hmm. And it's going viral all over social media. And I guarantee you, no offense to that guy, I want to like no allegations. I hope nobody he probably got looked into.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, he probably got looked into. His whole account base got looked into. So I think it's way harder to do this in football, or at least I pray to the football gods that we don't have this stuff going on.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure that there are some player props out there where you've gotten in contact. It's like, hey, maybe you don't go for X number of yards today, or you don't have this many completions, yada, yada, yada. But like you said, I don't think there's ever going to be a game where
like fixing outcomes. You got to get to refs or quarterbacks.
No, that's what I was going to say. Referees is one where it's we talked about this earlier in the season, how that's probably the more alarming. I don't think you're ever going to get to the offensive guard on a football team and say, hey, we need your team to win only by 3 points or less.
Even then, nowadays, I mean, you guys were with me. We've talked to coaching staffs about this. Nowadays, if you've got a tackle or a guard or a corner or anybody in your starting 11 that is so atrociously bad that they are costing you the football game and you don't sub them out, that's on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're watching it play by play nowadays. We have it. We walk right to the sideline and we know, oh my God, he's got no chance today. We better get somebody else, right? Or God forbid, a corner's just like letting everything by. He gonna get subbed out.
Yep.
Nowadays, I think maybe like 10 years ago, real worried and concerned about. Hell, 3 years ago. When was this iPad thing on the sideline new? Like 2 or 3 seasons ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, there's nobody busier nowadays than the comms guy on the sideline. Go show up to a college football game 2 hours before and watch the comms guy. He's losing his mind. Got dudes out here walking around with helmets. EQ guys walking around with helmets out here listening to checks. But yeah, the point shaving in basketball is real concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Player prop shaving, real concerning. I'm just trying to look at the chat. Somebody said the video title same as yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot to change it. I'll change that right now. Thank
There you go.
chat, for alerting me of that.
I love how slowly my brain was like trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about. While Jonathan's doing that, final thoughts on the 2025 season.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I have 5 top 5 like we did the other night. What do you have? How did you do this?
I'm
I'm rattled.
coincidentally have 5,
Yeah?
but I didn't do it as like a top 5.
Well, mentally, put some numbers by them suckers because you did it.
Okay.
You're programmed to top 5 it. Jonathan, what'd you do on your final thoughts on the season?
For the season, I have 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Top 3 from Jay Will. Here we go. Final thoughts
you
on the
love doing the
2025
list.
season, huh?
You love making lists.
I do. It's just a habit.
It's OG podcast radio.
It's OG radio, first of all. Great
fair.
point by Jonathan. It's OG radio. It's OG offseason radio as well. Final thoughts on the 2025 season. Number 1, and I think this one was really hammered home throughout the playoffs for me. Dead money anywhere on the roster will and can cost you a playoff game down the stretch. Ohio State, example, in my opinion, did not spend enough money on their offensive line and overpaid for their quarterback who underdelivered. It cost them an opportunity for a national title. Georgia lost an X due to injury because that happens. You're going to lose injury. You're going to lose football players. And the replacement was just not good enough or not as good, right? Massive drop back, I would argue. Would you argue massive difference between Colby Young and Noah Thomas' performance?
Production-wise, for sure, yeah.
Okay. Same thing if we want to extrapolate upon the example. At the center position, Drew Bobo goes out, Malachi Tolliver. You didn't execute as well against Ole Miss in the second round as you did the first time around against those guys. In the inverse, Miami loses a corner like Xavier Lewis, who they added from Wisconsin.
Yep.
And the O'Connor guy's been playing great, who they added from Washington State. They lose Xavier Lucas due to a questionable targeting penalty. Freshman, 3-star, Louisiana, balling. Immediately breaks up a pass, right? Against the Stribling guy who beat one of your young guys the week before. You know what I mean? Not to salt in the wound type of situation, but you get what I'm saying. Indiana loses a defensive end going into the playoffs in the Big Ten Championship game, celebrating in the postgame. Major story going into the first-round matchup. It's mum's the word.
Yep.
Nobody's even talking about it. You know why? They're good. Play up to standard. Everybody else did the thing. So that's rule number 1. Like, if you have dead money anywhere on the roster, it will expose itself at one point in the season because these seasons are long nowadays. Number 2, the parity was just as much or more than we thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. We had no clue going into the season. We'll have no clue going into the next year. There's a tremendous amount of opportunities to look really dumb nowadays doing what we do.
Yep.
So if you are doing what we do, stop getting in your feelings when people tell you you're an idiot. In fact, lean into it. Matter of fact, if you got one, strap a helmet on every once in a while, slap it around. You know what I mean? It's okay to be dumb every once in a while wrong because it is what it is. There's tremendous amount of parity in this sport. Talent dispersion at a tremendous rate. Number 3, and this is a national championship final thought and a seasonal final thought. Proved it to me. this is still a line of scrimmage sport.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can chunk it around as much as we want. We can throw it around as much as we want. That's all fine and dandy, but the teams at the end are great at the line. That's what they are. Miami is a ball-out football team. They are built roster-wise from the ball out. Indiana is the most flawless execution machine inside the box you will ever see. Hey-yo. Number 4, champions have scars. You get to this, you had to lose some. You had to hurt some. Something had to feel. Ohio State was an example of this last year. Michigan was an example of this the year before. Lord knows Georgia was this. The only team that ain't really fought the demons the whole entire time was Saban's regime because they were the demon. All right, but everybody else has fought some scars. Miami's got them. Indiana got them last year. They are a young puppy in terms of an organization and a corporation. This is 2 years in. But they took their lumps last year. From a Ohio State standard, they got their lump back on that one. And from a playoff standard, not being good enough out there in South Bend, they got that get back as well with that blue blood in Alabama. And before you check me, number 5, it still requires a team.
Yeah.
I felt this way about that Ohio State unit, getting the opportunity to be up close to those guys last year. I'll get another opportunity this year, having gotten a credential application down there to the national championship. So we'll see these guys and being as close to Miami as we've been this run. Mm-hmm. These guys really, they are a team, right? We have to be, and not just like goofy cliche stuff. I'm talking about whole parts, right? Like there is very few flaws in these football teams. They are whole. They are complete. They can run. They can pass. They can play defense. They can get after the quarterback. They can handle games. They can finish games. They close tight, right? Like those types of things are very, very important. These games are very, very slim margins.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to win these games and win as many in a row as you have to when you aren't a cohesive team. And that was even applied in the 4-team college football playoff. So it's that much more expounded on just now. So I'm actually glad because we didn't have any of the similar overlaps we usually do. My number 1 for this is that the first takeaway I have is the conference championship games are on their last leg. And it's unfortunate because 10 years ago, conference championship weekend meant something. It was a spectacle. It was, hey, if you don't win this game, you might not even have a chance to compete for a national title. You might not make a New Year's Six Bowl. You don't make a BCS Bowl. Now it kind of feels like, even if they do lose this game, it doesn't matter. Alabama lost the SEC championship, got killed in the SEC championship, and still made it. Other things, Ohio State lost the Big Ten championship, still made it. Miami didn't even play in their conference championship, and they're the only ACC team in. So it's kind of like looking at these top 10 or looking at the conference championship legs. It's dying, and I would not be shocked within the next 3 years if teams did not play in them anymore, as sad as that is. Number 2 for me, my number 2 takeaway and final thought from this season, there weren't any transcendent must-see TV players or teams this year. Last year we had Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty and all these names, whereas like you at least talked about them no matter when they played. And yeah, there were some very, very good players this year. Jeremiah Love was good for Notre Dame.
You didn't run to the TV for the 12 Jeremiah Love carries.
No, I'm sorry. Like, Jeremiah Love does not go in the same category as anyone on this wall.
I will say this. I don't know if there was a team. There were matchups that I have felt like I had to run to the television for, more so than ever.
Sure.
Far more games where I'm like, don't mess with me. I have to be sitting. Dude, there were games this year where we would go into stadiums like 5 hours before so we could be sitting still watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you're right. I don't know if there was a team, player, coaching staff that I sprinted to the television. I was like, I got to be sitting to watch this because something crazy might happen.
Yeah, and I think that's just somewhat kind of one of those coincidences. Like we talk about, and no disrespect to Fernando Mendoza. He had a great season. We all look around like, yeah, this is probably one of the least exciting Heisman campaigns we've ever seen. And again, no disrespect to him. He's a fantastic quarterback. He's going to be a Las Vegas Raider. But it wasn't like there was anything transcendent this year where you look back and go, oh, that was this player's season.
Yeah, you better get right with your Mendoza takes.
Hey, look, I'm ready to watch him get crucified.
What's y'all's Raider tag? Like, what is y'all's Bronco up? What is y'all's
Raider Nation, or you say Raiders, like in the movie? I can't remember the name of the movie right now.
So real diehard over there.
I am, dude. I can't remember the name of the movie though. It'll come back to me. Number 3 that I have. The college football playoff, more than ever, is about teams playing their best in the month of January. it's not as much about finding, quote-unquote, the best team or who deserves it most. Which teams are going to get to this tournament and play 4 perfect games of football? Because coming into this, no one would have expected Miami to do that. No one would have expected Indiana to do that. Frankly, on paper, they weren't that. Yeah, Indiana was undefeated. Yeah, Indiana was really good. Yeah, they had some really, really strong performances this season. No one figured they would make it out of this as a champion or playing in the championship. Damn sure didn't think that for Miami. It's all about just playing your best football in the month of January, which goes back to, yes, it does kind of diminish the regular season a bit, but that's a discussion for a completely other day. And this is my 4th one. We had a coaching reset this year. There were nearly 12
It was due, by the way.
Yeah. There were probably 11 to 12 Power 4 coaches that were fired, which then brought on the other 12 vacancies had to be filled, which brought on those coaches going elsewhere. We had probably 30 to 40 coaching changes at the head position take place this season. It feels like there's a very new landscape. It feels like we've entered a new era of coaching. I mean, for God's sakes, a quarter of coaches in the SEC were fired, and that led to other coaches in the SEC going elsewhere. So it feels like we've kind of entered a new era of head coaches. And this brings me to my final thought, and it's my biggest thought of the 2025 season, and I think it's going to be how we view this year. We're not going to look back 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and go, hey, do you remember the 2025 season, and talk about the games. This is, in my opinion, the first time in my life where the drama that was taking place off the field far outweighed anything that ever happened inside the lines on game day. Yeah, there were some really exciting moments. Yeah, there were some really exciting plays, but we're going to be talking about 10 years from now. Oh, yeah, remember when Notre Dame opted out of a bowl game because they felt like they got cheated? Remember the Sharon Moore saga or the Lane Kiffin drama, or how many players were doing hostile negotiations in the middle of the season? Hey, what was going on with that Ohio head coach? Like, stuff like that. Like, we're going to talk about this season more than anything because of what happened off the field than what took place on the field.
We're 35 minutes into this show, and we haven't even talked about the rumors as to whether or not Ole Miss NIL contracts got leaked within their building.
Yeah. So, like, the off-field drama
also, by the
outweighed
way,
it.
the more and more guys hit the portal, like Daughtery, like Uman Milan, the more that Twitter rumor reports, sources – the more that sounds to be a lot more than just tinfoil hat theory.
Right.
Okay, because Uman Milan hit the portal 30 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, after the school announced he was coming back.
After he looked at his paycheck and was like, wait a minute, he's getting what?
They gave you what?
You said what now? Deshaun Womack also hit the portal. Now, he's not a starter for them.
Right.
But not good.
No, it's not.
It's no good.
It is no good. No good.
Do you have final thoughts?
Was that the end of your list, Kirby?
That was the end of my list.
Okay, yes. I do have final thoughts. The first one I have is fans are going to have to become more content with not feeling natty or bust in a season. And I say that because, yes, there is still only one national title winner, just like there always has been in a college football season, except for some of the older days where there were joint titles and all this other bullcrap, whatever.
Yeah.
But since the BCS and on, there's always been one national title winner. But I say that because more than ever, college football seasons are way more unpredictable than you could ever imagine. I mean, going into every single season, and us going into this past season, we were like, boy, it feels wide open. Like, it feels really hard to just file this down to 12 teams in a playoff bracket trying to pick a national title winner. You know, in previous years, it felt like you could really put it down to 4 teams of who you thought could win a national title this year. And even if you feel that way going into a season, there's going to be 4 or 5 teams that come out of nowhere, or you feel like come out of nowhere, and are actually national title contenders.
Everyone complains about the selection process, but last year, by the end of it, I felt like no doubt Ohio State was the best football team. And whoever wins Monday night, I will unequivocally feel the same exact way. Indiana going into it has beaten teams to make me – they beat Oregon on the road. They beat Ohio State. They've walked through the playoff to this point. If they beat Miami, unequivocally the best football team. If Miami beats that football team, they are unequivocally the best football team to me. Now, we can debate BCS era. They got to lose to SMU. They got to lose to Louisville and still get here. Have that. That's fine. If Miami gets there, they walk through 4 playoff teams that were capable and caliber or able to be there, and they're the best football team at the end.
Well, that's why I talk about that. It matters most. You have to play the best football in January. I don't think
You do.
being the best football team is such a subjective label that like it's hard to put. Like
But-
the New York Giants were not the best team in the NFL when they beat the undefeated Patriots.
Kirby, when Clemson won the national title with Deshaun Watson, they went to overtime with Troy in September. They weren't the best football team in September.
No, you're right.
They were in January
They
that
played
year.
the best at the end of the season, correct?
And
Absolutely.
now we make them play best more times over.
Sure.
And I think that's good because we get more opportunities to expose teams that aren't as good. Like, could you imagine Oregon defensively looked absolutely dominant against Texas Tech? Could you imagine in some iteration with a BCS standard if those were the teams that we got? You know what I'm saying? And then the next week, Oregon's offense against Indiana, who maybe a metric didn't think was as good, gets absolutely obliterated. So now you have to be really, really good 3 times over, and you have to be just good enough to get the opportunity to be great 3 times over. I prefer this method over the previous. That's all I'm saying.
What about having to be really, really good through 14
August
games?
through November, or August through January,
Instead
and survive the Troys
instead
and
of-
survive the mistakes. I'm with you. I understand that felt good too. I personally still tune in every single Saturday.
For sure.
It has not stopped me from tuning in every single Saturday, and the numbers say it hasn't stopped the casual.
For sure. And that's not
So if it
what-
doesn't stop the freako and it doesn't stop the casual, then it must be good for the sport.
I don't think ratings and people tuning in is the catalyst for what's good for the sport. I think the overall product that you get on the field, and yes, the product is never been better. I think what we have done, though, has diminished the hindsight of what the sport is in the regular season, because we talk about it all the time. That win Georgia has over Ole Miss, that fantastic offensive performance where they put up 43 points, came from 2 scores in the fourth quarter, it's kind of null and void now because you lost to that team in January.
So the
and
regular
ending the
season, according to you, and I'm obviously extrapolating here.
Right.
The regular season only matters if you go undefeated.
I mean, to some degree. In hindsight, yes.
I-
Alabama's win.
We
over-
really only have 2 cycles of this, and the Ohio State-Michigan game got poo-pooed on last year because Michigan won in a year that Ohio State wins the national title, and now that game doesn't matter as much. Used to, you had to win that one to win a national title. Like, I get all these things. My viewpoint from jump always has been the team holding the trophy at the end, I better feel with my heart of hearts, no, that's the best team. That's all I've ever cared about.
But I think best is subjective. I think that a team
Not if we make them go through rounds after rounds after rounds and win it, not just get ranked into it and win it once.
the Alabama that went on the 4-game run where they beat the top 25 teams, that's a 4-game run. A really, really strong 4-game run. A team that you said, hey, we have to respect this 4-game run. That is not the team that played in January. 4-game runs aren't the team you are. The team you are throughout the season is the team you are. And the reality is that Miami was not a great team leading up to this.
I mean, 4-game runs are all 9-3 teams in the BCS method had great 4-game runs.
Exactly.
You still got to be great in January. We're sidetracking the conversation.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. What?
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh yeah. Oh, my bad.
Oh, you're fine. You guys got to do
Where
it.
were you even at?
I was at my first point of my final thoughts.
Well, you
for
better
the
hurry
season.
up.
Yes, sir. I will absolutely do that.
Sorry, Jay Will.
So, yeah, I think that fan bases are going to have to become more content with not feeling natty or bust. It's my second point. The panic button needs a longer leash in college football. Here's a few examples as to why. Bama lost to Florida State in week 1. Panic button was fired off, fire to bore, get rid of everybody. This team sucks, blah, blah, blah. Even some people went as far as to say Florida State might be back under Mike Norvell. Neither one of those were the case. Miami had 2 losses before the playoff. They're playing for a national title. Notre Dame had 2 losses in its first 2 games. They were dang near close to making a college football playoff. Oklahoma had 2 losses and was staring down the barrel of Tennessee on the road and Bama on the road for its next 2 games. They made the college football playoff. So, given the expanded playoff field and all the new circumstances of college football, the parity, the panic button needs a longer leash. Like, you got to settle in a little bit more. Losses are going to happen. Doesn't mean you got to fire off the panic button. Something needs to be done about this college football schedule. It needs to change. I like Dan Lanning's theory of how things should be done, of the season is over before the new year. I also want to propose this of why can college basketball figure out that we should put the transfer portal after the national title game, but college football can't? So, like, why is one college sport able to figure this out, but the other one can't?
Why round ball figure it out, but oblong ball can't figure it out?
No clue, but something needs to change because – first off, we should not be having conference championships played at the first weekend of December, and then those teams then playing, or majority of those teams then playing at the end of December or in the month of January. Something needs to happen where we're more like college football is week by week by week until you get to the playoffs. Then it's take a month off and play again. We got to do something to condense this a little bit more. Then my final one, and it kind of played into your guys' argument a little bit, but my enjoyment for games has not changed whatsoever.
Yeah.
I like
talk ball.
As much as I'll sit here on this podcast and on this show and I'll give you my complaints about this sport and how I don't like the new changes of the sport and all that, when I sit down and I watch college football games, when I sit down and watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl, when I sit down and watch the national title game on Monday, I still enjoy it just as much as I used to.
I just remembered. I ordered Pop-Tarts Bowl merch. That's going to show up at the crib at any point. Yeah, I did. That quarter zip.
The quarter
zip got me.
Pretty fire.
I mean, that quarter zip sold out, and they were like, don't you worry. We're going to squeeze every bit of these dollars.
Quarter zip was very clean.
Speaking of dope merch, I just saw the Cigar Factory hat. I remember you getting that one down there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Those folks treat us really, really well every single time.
I appreciate them, and I appreciate
We're
their
down
merch.
them.
It's a cool hat.
You know who else I appreciate?
Who do you appreciate?
I appreciate those fine folks over at SeatGeek.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I could not imagine, not having a credential and having to buy a ticket to this game if I was a diehard.
Well,
which
if you are one of
I'm
those,
trying to get one of these for a buddy of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you are
diehard Canes fan,
if you are one of those people that are looking to get tickets to the national championship game and you are alarmed by the price, do not fret. Our friends over at SeatGeek have you covered. They are first off backed by a buyer guarantee, so all your purchases are safe, and they offer a really, really unique system that offers you a certain deal metric scale. What that means is green dots, good deal; yellow, kind of bad. Red, probably want to stay away from them. And if you head over there now and use FilmGuy100, you will get $100 off your purchase of national championship tickets. That is a lot of money compared to what we are usually offering. SeatGeek, FilmGuy100. Thank you very much, everyone.
SeatGeek, FilmGuy100. Head over there today. $100 off on a ticket that expensive. Yeah. I mean, dude, put it on black in the Hard Rock Cafe. That's all I'm going to say. Take that 100, spin it, make it 200. Put it on red, make it 4. Good. Bankrupt the casino by the end of the night, right, Jonathan?
That's right.
That's how it's done. That's my plans. I don't know about yours. Hey, I'm feeling kind of lucky based off these preseason predictions.
Let's hear.
I don't know if you've seen these. You ready for these? All right, so we wrote these, I don't know, sometime in August before the first game, before week 0. Is this in July?
This was like June.
Okay, this was we're hurting for content. Let's burn 15 minutes talking about what might happen.
Yep.
Here's what actually happened and what we thought might happen. Top 5 bold predictions. Write them down. Put them on the wall. Back from June of 2025. Number 1, coin flip SEC. I said it was going to come down to literally a coin flip to decide the 2 teams that played in the SEC. We were well far off from that actually happening. Though the outcome of who played was determined on the last week of the season. Do I get half credit on that? Will you give me like a C+?
No, because I
Hey, be careful. We're turning this right around and grading you. So just be cautious.
Oh, I'm not asking for grace on
okay,
mine.
okay.
I had misses on mine.
Oof, that one bad. Number 2, Lenore Sellers QB1 NFL draft.
Ooh, didn't even enter the draft.
Hey, what's that old adage? Never wrong, just early.
Yep.
Not holding the stock though. I mean, I might. Shane Beamer coaching for his life. That's a good place. It's a good place for Gamecocks fans when Beamer's coaching for his life. Number 3, ding, ding, ding. Ryan Day gonna grab the Waffle House card. And boy, did he. And he didn't do all that great. Scored 14 points against Miami. It wasn't all that good.
Yeah, and
had a pick 6 first quarter.
Yeah, and is this kind of like a half-point scenario, though? Because
when
you made
nope.
When you made
I said it was because Heartline was going to be bad,
Yeah.
And it was because Hartline got hired away. Let's not get into the technicalities. Legal binding paperwork says none of that in the fine print.
Fair enough.
If I remember,
Hush up. Number 4, Arch Manning, 4,200 yards passing, 400 yards rushing, 12 total turnovers. He had to have cleared the turnovers.
definitely clear the turnovers. Did not. Clear
Nah, we were like 3,600 and like, I don't know, running for our life. All the sack yardage. No way we ran for that. Ding, 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 ding. Ryan Williams doesn't lead Bama in receiving.
That was your biggest hit.
That's a home run.
I think that.
Yeah, knocked out the park. Thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me to be right at least once, even though I was right twice.
I
2
think
out of
you're-
5.
All right,
One out of
let's hear what you guys
baseball.
have got.
Hey, baseball, that's a Hall of Fame career right there.
Right?
That's GOAT status right
Hitting
there.
400, call me Barry Bonds. I got the head of a dude on juice.
Yeah. My first one, you can probably classify this one as a layup, but I think in the time frame that we gave these predictions, this was starting to get rather hot around college football, which is why I would imagine I gave this prediction. Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith are not Heisman finalists. Neither one of them were Heisman finalists. So, yeah, I know. Shrug your shoulders. Not that bold of a prediction. Call it a layup. But, hey, we're 1 for 1. Oregon is a first-round exit. Was not correct on that one.
Shout out JMU.
Shout out to JMU.
Shout out Texas Tech.
Also beat Texas Tech, but boy, that exit was still ugly.
Yeah.
To say the least. This one was a home run. 4 QB changes in the SEC this season. I can't remember the exact total, but I know that LSU had a QB change at some point this season. I know that DJ Lagway got benched in some games this year. Kentucky was flip-flopping QBs. Missouri had injuries. They were changing quarterbacks. Auburn changed quarterbacks multiple times this year.
job.
So I'd say that's a home run for yours truly right there in that sense for the quarterback changes. This was also a home run. G5 playoff team has at least 2 losses this year. Shout out to Tulane for earning 2 losses in the regular
sneaky.
season
I
and
forgot.
still making the college football playoff this year.
Sneaky.
God, dude, I forgot to.
Shout out to the American being just a war conference. God, I love American conference football.
And then
Swing your sword, Jonathan.
my final one, this one was a miss, I would say, because it's kind of subjective. But in my personal opinion, coming from the person that gave this prediction, I would say this was a miss. I said the favorite hate watch in college football this season will be the Indiana Hoosiers.
No.
I wouldn't say that they really turn into a hate watch. Maybe next year when people
That's
get sick of this, but
The wrong H word. That's a watch. That's a
yeah.
Still a How
Now, I
are they
will
the
say, I
How are they
have
doing
been
that?
seeing an uptick in the amount of people that are getting fed up with the Indiana fan base, more specifically of these people didn't walk through the trenches with their football team when they did suck. They didn't even care about football.
Oh, the
and now they
bandwagons.
just get to show up when their team is really good without having to like really suffer through it. That's just opinions from other people on the internet that I've seen, and how now all these Indiana fans are popping up when they weren't even around to begin with. But neither here nor there. I wouldn't say Indiana was a hate watch this year. So congrats to the Hoosiers on that.
Yeah, I would say that Indiana honestly, like, obviously with the fans being everything, but up until that point, like, people were kind of admiring what Indiana was doing throughout that. So, yeah, I would say there was not a hate watch. All right, time for my preseason predictions. Prediction number 1. Syracuse will go 2-2 against Notre Dame, SMU, Clemson, and Miami. They were 1-3. They won 3 games this season, but damn it if Clemson wasn't one of them.
And had Angeli not got hurt, you might have snuck another one in there.
Yeah.
So we could chop it up to injuries,
So
baby.
definitely a miss. Definitely a miss on my part.
It's not on you. It's not on you.
Syracuse had a bad season. No, it was on.
Nah, dude. If the Jelly Man was upright, he's tossing for at least 4 racks.
No, I was very high on Syracuse this season.
I was high on the Jelly Man.
Did not go well. Number 2, Nebraska will have a winning record in 1-score games this year. That is a hit. They were 4-2 in 1-score games, notorious for not being able to win those ones and find ways to lose. Still have not beaten a top 25 opponent, but that is neither here nor there.
Is that just because their losses were by multiple scores?
Yes, it is. That's correct, Jay Will. If they didn't win a game by 1 score, they were getting beat by 30 points.
Lovely.
This one, biggest hit I had, and honestly kind of undersold it. At least 3 SEC head coaches will be fired this season.
That was a home run in October.
Yeah, that hit in like October,
that sucker
dude.
was smashed. Before Halloween.
That shit doubled down in a 12-hour cycle on a Sunday.
Sure did.
Wasn't there a Sunday where 5 SEC football coaches were either fired or hired? I remember
There was
leaving
there was a 5-week streak where
Yes.
that definitely happened.
Yes.
But I remember a Sunday where in the middle of the show, 2 guys got canned, 2 guys and 3 guys got hired or something like that.
I believe it.
Because
it's
not worth getting into, but it was wild. There's a wild time period for all that.
Prediction number 4, and this one hurts the most, honestly. Probably would have been close to hitting. Louisville starts the season 5-0, but misses the playoff. Louisville started the season 4-0 and lost to Virginia by 3 points in overtime, and then beat Miami the next week. So just a really, really bad beat for me. And then my 5th and final prediction, and a home run indeed. The Mississippi State Bulldogs get a conference win this season. Shout out to them. I went 3-2 on my preseason predictions and was very close to being 5-0.
Just a little breaking news. Dominic Kelly to Ohio State.
Yeah,
God.
bro, you knew. Dang, bro, be easy. All the texts over there, dog.
Oh, come on.
Nah, you're right. I got shit falling off my desk by the hour. I mean, the stock's still up, though. Hey, you going to rotate a camera or two? The stock's still up, though, because it's Ohio State. He going to play ball up there. You know? So that ain't all the end of the world for all of our stock. All right, but we got national title final thoughts, right? We do this every single week. It's the last time we will do this for the rest of the year. I did a segment with Kane's Insight. There's a lot of Miami fans watching us tonight, probably coming over from my hit over there. We appreciate you for being here. If it's your first time watching, this is what we do best. We break down football really at a high level, or a different level, rather. So Miami is a duo-based football team. They are a quote-unquote downhill rushing attack. You'll hear that nomenclature around football quite often. Here's what it is. This is what duo is. Duo is based off double teams moving down linemen into the linebacker, into the second level of the defense, and moving people against their will, all right? When defenses are stagnant, it's really easy when they're in the locations that they line up in, when they snap off and fire off, play 2-gap scheme like we normally do in the SEC world or in the NFL world, all right? Makes duos really based off man-man principles, right? How big is your mass up front? Miami's got some of the best mass. They move people against their will, right? If you're a Miami fan watching today, you probably see this play hit down the midline of your offense quite often. You might think this is hitting an A-gap. It's intended to hit out here in C-gap off the left tackle's butt. That's why it hits very far down the line of scrimmage, because these guys get tremendous amounts of movement, particularly the left tackle, and obviously when they flip it on the inverse, the right tackle, Francis, okay? But here's the problem in this matchup when you go up against a team like Indiana. We see these double teams right here, right, boys? These double teams at left tackle and at left guard, all right? And then with these 2 tight ends, these guys are responsible for the end and the Sam. These 2 guys are responsible for the tackle up to the Mike. These 2 guys are responsible for the nose up to the Will, right? As they come, we attack and we come off, right? Backside tackle's got to dig out the backside end. All of these things become much more difficult against teams that are, based off chaos, like an Indiana front is. If you watch Indiana, they are twisting, stunting, wrapping, flyering, plugging, doing all kinds of crazy stuff every single snap. They do it with tremendous amounts of gap integrity as well. They are very gap aligned all the time. Even if you play with pace, they still throw a lot of stunts, and they do so exceptionally well at a high execution rate. So we see these double teams over here. They become much harder, right, when teams start spiking and stunning. These 2 players that are responsible for the end and the Sam, okay, now he spikes my face, the Y's getting beat across his face, now the H is discombobulated. Same thing here at left guard and left tackle. This tackle that we were trying to move up to the Mike, he's left our face. We're waiting for the nose to come over here. What often happens, and we saw a good clip of this against Oregon, Jonathan, in our film study, what often happens is the back thinks there's this massive hole that it's ultimately arriving in B-gap. It is not. Aiden Fisher's sitting there floating, ready to attack. So these combination blocks, what duo is based off of, what Miami's run game is based off of, is really difficult to execute at a high rate, or at least an easy rate, against a football team that is based off this much chaos. Here's the good news, as we wrote here on the board. The good news for Miami and Miami fans listening today. You were really good against this in the run game against Ole Miss. However, we thought you didn't really handle the chaos and the stunts from their pass rushing attack in that football game. Carson Beck was hit often. All right, Carson Beck had to pull the football down and run off script often. Carson Beck had to play hot, as we call it on this network, relatively often. All right, that's the bad news. In the pass protection, you weren't great at it. In the run game, you were really good. You ran at will the entire football game. You handled it. You're good. You're big. You're athletic. You're smart, particularly at the center position as well. So that's kind of the matchup within the matchup offensively for Miami against that Indiana defense. I got the rest of the notes over there on the board. Boys, thoughts on just the general matchup of duo versus that chaotic look over there from Indiana. You guys know the answer because you're in here all the time when we're breaking down film. It's about gaining depth at that offensive line, right? It's about getting deeper than we normally do, or at least being more patient at the line of scrimmage, right? Because we have to move those first downs first before we get to that second level of the defense.
Yeah, I mean, and it's an important conversation, too, because, you know, we've talked about it a lot this week and since the matchup has been official of how important the run game is going to be for both of these offenses. And more specifically, I said one of the keys for Indiana in this game is you really have to nullify Miami's rushing attack because it really discombobulates everything else that they try and do offensively. And if their run game isn't going and you're really putting it on the shoulders of Miami's passing attack, I'm not saying that they couldn't pass their way to a win, but it's not something that they necessarily feel comfortable with, in my opinion, especially not what they like the recipe for their success in the playoffs so far. It hasn't been that. It's been the fact that Mark Fletcher and the rest of the running backs have been able to pick up necessary yards when they're needed and figures out a way to get them in winning situations and staying ahead of the sticks, more importantly. So that matchup specifically between Indiana's defensive line and Miami's rushing attack probably going to be one of the biggest deciding factors in this football game.
I got 3 keys to Miami successfully being able to stop this Indiana attack. Key number 1, random stat. Rushing attempts, 2.8 yards per carry. Got to make them inefficient. We got to get into a ton of 2nd and 9s, a ton of 2nd and 7s, all right? And that's how we do it. We got to stop them on early downs in the run game. They're going to try to be efficient and get into 2nd and 4s. So you can't let that happen. They will start hunting you through explosives. We got to be able to play 3 over 2 in the RPO game. All right, you saw this massively in film study where if you get outnumbered, they're going to spit it out. And it's not like spitting it out to a bubble screen. It's spitting it out to a vertical. It's spitting it out to an out route where they've already driven the corner 9 yards, 10 yards, 12 yards downfield, where these become chunk plays, massive chunk plays off of the RPO scheme for them, and they do it 25% of the time. We've got to be able defensively to stop the run with light counts because we are playing 3 over 2 or we are playing 4 over 3. You can't feel like it's 3 over 3 or 2 over 2 over there. I think they'll beat you. They beat everybody else in man-to-man coverage. They're going to beat you. And then the other thing, once we earn our right to get them into 3rd and long, we have to impact him and get him on the ground. That's obviously a key going into any football game, impact the quarterback. But more importantly, we got to earn the right to do that. Like, we're not getting home on 3rd and 3. I'm sorry, you're just not. You're not going to impact the passer on 3rd and 3 in this football game on either side, to be honest with you. They're just going to get the ball out too quickly. Mm-hmm. What you got for me, Curb? You writing an article?
Yep.
It is what it is.
He's about to submit it and publish it.
Attaboy. Thoughts on Miami's ability to make their run game inefficient. Again, the only team, we keep reiterating this stat, but it's an important one. The only team to hold Indiana under 100 yards this year is Wisconsin, and, they got thumped. So,
to me, I think it's like maybe not as important that they nullify their run game, like hold them under 100 yards. Like, I don't think there's necessarily that magic number, but I think it's more so like what we stumbled into when we were studying the film of we felt like Miami kind of got overcommitted a couple of times to stopping the run against Ole Miss when it feels like they're a team that doesn't need to be doing that with how disruptive their defensive line is, with how great their linebackers are, and with how free their linebackers get to play. It doesn't feel like there's a need to be overstacking the box, even against a team like Indiana, where it seems like things really start getting going offensively for them in the rushing attack. You need to make sure that you're keeping the explosives off. Like, if they're gashing you or if they're just picking up 4 or 5 yards a tick on the run game, I think you can live there. What you can't live with is allowing them to pick up the 20-yard explosives in the passing game or the 25-yard explosives in the passing game because you got too overcommitted in the box trying to stop the run, and Fernando Mendoza and Kurt Cignetti in that offense attacked you as such and exposed you for where you were weak. So I think that's the bigger key for them defensively when it comes to stopping the run is do it with light counts because you can.
Yeah, do it with light counts because you can. I like that. I don't need the Keontae Scott firing.
No,
We're
no,
good.
no, no,
Keep
no.
it out of here.
Yeah, safety's like play it slow,
We
take good
good.
angles.
We're absolutely good. Can you read his notes? Did he print them out?
No, he did not.
How was your day, Jay Will?
My day was fantastic.
Yeah? You had
Yeah.
a good day?
Yeah, good week so far.
Okay. I had a good week, too. What are y'all going to do while I'm gone? Y'all going to do a show Monday?
Watch the national title.
Oh, that's right. National
Yeah.
title.
Yeah, let us compete with the biggest college football event of the year.
I mean, I feel like ESPN cannibalizes itself in this football game.
Oh,
Like,
gosh, there's so many options.
17.
They're doing the coach cast again.
You with coaches that,
Aren't coaching at the moment, but
yeah,
Yeah, but they're all variations of their own viewership, and they go towards their name.
correct.
Like,
It's spreading the dollar everywhere across the channels.
wouldn't you technically say you're cannibalizing yourself right now?
Yeah. Huh?
You're on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah, but these folks don't know we have a YouTube channel.
Right.
So we're trying to transition them.
There you go.
Speaking of which, let's just go ahead and go to the local hour. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Yeah, at the top?
Yeah, we'll do
you
it
want to
right now.
address
Go
them
ahead,
right
brother.
now?
Yeah,
You want
so
to
I-
address the fans right
All right,
now?
come on.
This
Rip the
isn't
Band-Aid
even-
off.
This
Let's
isn't
go.
even an addressing. This is more just asking the fan base because this is a fan-driven show.
Is
and-
this the one we had like in the notes?
No.
This is not you scaring the shit out of them?
No,
this
no,
is
no,
you
no,
just
no.
talking to them.
This is literally me just talking to the fans.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I've gotten
Floor's yours.
some feedback recently that the
Oh,
Diddy
yes.
counter may have overstayed its welcome. So I am going on air to ask the folks in the live chat.
Oh, people don't like it?
Yeah, people are saying, hey, maybe it's time. 44 is enough. So I'm asking you, live chat
is
right
that
now.
is that a top comment on the rewatch or something like
Yeah.
that?
There were multiple comments in the live show yesterday that I wouldn't be sad if the Diddy counter left. There were some in the post-show comments that said
He works really hard on that. So
Diddy
if
counter
that's
number
something people don't
44.
like.
Think it might be overdone.
Yeah, well, hey, so
Okay,
people
I
in the live chat.
thought it was cool to have things that we always do.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So if we just want to have people comment about them, like it's weird though. It's like normal with us. You either hate it or you don't.
Yeah.
Or you love it. I shouldn't say you either hate it or you love it. There's no don't.
See, facts.
See?
Diddy counter is enough.
And then the next one, keep Diddy counter, all caps. Like that is our audience.
Mm-hmm.
Our audience either loves something that we do or hates something that we do. That's it. Same thing with the music on the intro. I'm either told that's the best intro or the worst intro that we ever have. And you guys are stuck reading the comments. I mean, even TikTok over here up in arms, don't know what to do. I'll tell you what we are going to do. We going to talk some dogs.
Dang right.
Where the dogs at?
On top.
You daggum right, Jonathan. Kirby is going to attempt to terrify the entire Georgia fan base tonight. So there's that. I'm going to make them feel happy, though, before we do that with some Amarius Mims scouting tape that we did. We recorded it, right?
Amarius Williams.
Amarius Williams. What did I say?
Amarius Mims.
Oh. We got to put that sucker on tonight. It's been a minute.
It's been a while, yeah.
Maybe they're tired of that bit, too.
Well,
Why? Let's not talk like that. Look, if the fans don't want it,
we
the fans
need
don't want
the
it.
feedback from our listeners.
I'm not gonna be offended
if we
if
are
you guys
doing
don't want
something
it.
that you guys don't
Hey,
like.
how insensitive or how sensitive would I be to not take hard coaching? That's what I do. That's what we do. So we got to take the whippings, when we get them. When they tell us, we got to listen. Somebody said once a week. That's what we do. Anyways, where are we at? Top 5 personal moments of the season coming tonight. Some portal news and perhaps an indication of a return. We got decent confirmation of a return prior to the show. So there's that. And we took some Discord Q&A today. We took some questions from our
These are always
Discord.
fun.
Yeah, these are always fun. If you want to join in on that action, patreon.com /Brooks Austin. Just a bunch of dogs talking dogs over there in that one. So, yeah, holler at us over there. First and foremost, before, Kirby terrifies you, I got great news for you. I got great news. You want to hear the great news?
Let's hear the great news.
I do.
I think Georgia got themselves a dude.
Who's that?
Now, that's the first portal film that I've cracked open. But this Amarius Williams tape is freaky. This Amarius Williams tape is the kind of tape you like to see.
And it comes at a fantastic, it's refreshing tape. Let me put it that way, because a big proponent of something that we talked about this past season with Georgia is, the pass rush was a major topic, especially in the middle of the season when Georgia was not great in the sack category. Now, they got better at it to close the season. They made some adjustments. Guys like Zayden Walker were ready to play, and so they made quite a bit of an impact there. Chris Jones was an impact there as well. But the thing that we kept talking about was there's not a whole lot of twitch right now.
He's a thunderstorm of twitch.
Yes.
A thunderstorm of twitch. That's what this man is. Now, there are moments where he doesn't really know what's going on, but when he gets to play free, he is violent, okay? Violent. Now, the other thing about him, and here's the only negative I can find, he's 6'2", 265, and he needs to learn how to stay on his feet, because there are moments where we're not on our feet. And it's a byproduct of being a freshman and being 265 pounds. Few first steps I've ever seen like this kid's. Like, he is in a rare category of football players where it's like, we can't read him. We can't leave him unblocked. If we leave him unblocked, he's just going to blow up the mesh point. How many running backs did you see him horse collar?
Oh, gosh, 3?
just clothesline.
It's like comical. Kirby.
It's like Colin Simmons in the run game. It is not there in the pass game, and I don't know if he'll ever be, because Colin Simmons is ungodly as a rusher. But from a twitch line of scrimmage off of it, elite.
Not to kind of spoil some of the film study tomorrow, but so he is the read guy in a read option play that Kentucky is running, and this happens multiple times throughout the game. And he is coming off the edge, and he knows he's not unblocked, and his whole purpose for him is like, I'm going to smack the crap out of this running back no matter what. The running back does not have the ball, and he grabs him by the neck and flings him on the ground.
Oh, a little longest yard. I think I broke his freaking neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
He's unreadable as a read option defender, just blows up the mesh. They didn't really give him a ton of opportunity to rush the passer as a wide 9, which – that's what I think he's going to be best at. When we talk about twitch, you think of that like getting to the edge. He had to rush as an interior pass rusher because if you know anything about Auburn football this year, Crawford and Keldrick Falk are going to be NFL football players.
Yeah.
If you just watch them on TV, that's 24 and 15. They're elite. So on automatic passing downs, I think this is a good thing about this football player because he's a young football player, but he was so obviously talented that they felt compelled to get him on the field, and it wasn't going to be in his home rush. It was going to be in an area where he wasn't really comfortable. But the way they used him was really indicative on the way that Georgia rushes, which is even if you line up as a wide 9, there might be moments where I ask you as a twitchy pass rusher to do everything you can to occupy both the right tackle and the right guard so we can wrap the defensive end or we can wrap the defensive tackle. You see what I'm saying? Like his flash, his effort, his twitch, his attention-gettingness, right? That alone will draw open opportunities for other people. We saw this in the film study.
I want to tell you a player that it reminded me of. Now, there's some major –
Oh, I got a player comp.
I know what your player comp is. Now, this isn't like a direct player comp. This isn't me saying that these two players are the exact same because there's some major differences in these two players' skill sets. But when you want to talk about firing off the line of scrimmage and twitch – this is who this player reminded me of, and you can call me crazy if you want to. Let me know if I'm out of line. Devontae Wyatt.
Yeah. No, Devontae Wyatt to this day wins with I'm 305 pounds, but I got the get off of a slot receiver. Mm-hmm. Watch this.
That's what I remember about him too.
Yeah.
Are they going to use this?
And bow-leggedness.
Are they going to use him as a 3-tech, or is he going to be like a
He's
wide 9?
If Gabe needs a breather, you get him. And then the next series when Quintavious needs a breather, you get him.
Okay, so he's like your utility knife on the edges.
Honest to God, I think Gabe and Quintavious – Gabe probably can't do the off-ball stuff that Quintavious does, but it's because they made him put 290 pounds on. But I think those three could be universally rotated. I honestly think that of their skill sets.
Yeah.
So, and you heard Schumann say it in a press conference this year. He's like, the way that we have started to balance defenses and the way that motion has happened in offense is the way that the amount of motion that they use. Jacks become DNs, DNs become jacks on a down-to-down basis. If they want to make our DN a jack, they can do it, basically is what he was saying. So they cross-train these guys anyways. He is 3 up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And shit, he's gonna be on the field on third down every down.
And a young football player. This isn't a one and done guy.
3 years.
So what a young football player.
So what I'm hearing is all season long, Georgia kind of talked about, and we on this network talked about how it didn't feel like they had a win now guy. We need you to come off the edge. We need you to have speed, flash, and get to the quarterback. And they went and got that in the portal.
If they let him rush from a 9, if they do what Auburn did to him, he gets swallowed by 3 techs as like we're going to make him a twitchy, beat a guard rusher. Unless y'all find ways to get him on a 2-way go against a guard, he'll beat that guy. But if you give the guard help to his right, or his left, they just eat him up. He's not big enough. He's not long enough.
Yeah.
But we did see a couple of reps against Kentucky where he got an opportunity late in the game to rush as a 9. And he rushes with what I would call tremendous natural rushing bend. He has a natural tilt to himself. We still got to teach him how to use his hands. We got to teach him how to avoid the chest of offensive linemen because they're 6'8" now. They're huge. You're 6'2", 265. We can't be in there. We need to fight under the hands. We need to fight around the edges. All that stuff we still got to teach him. But from a pure havoc standpoint, you got that. You got that in this. I want to read you this. This is a text I sent to a source. Quote, "It's like watching Azeez Ojulari play defensive end at 6'2", 265 pounds. Source, yeah, coach, we hit a lick."
I wonder what the age of this said source was. Probably not one of the more veteran ones on staff.
You don't think that's Kirby? You don't think Kirby's texting that?
You don't think Glenn Schumann talks like hit a lick?
I don't know. I mean, when you are as prominent in recruiting as those guys are, you do have to stay up to date with the lingo. So
yeah, you don't think Kirby's updated lingo like that?
I hope.
Yeah,
not.
we hit a lick.
I hope.
I mean,
hit a lick.
He's got a son in middle school. Surely he's on his game.
Andrew, we just hit a lick.
Scale 1 to 10. What do you think Kirby Smart's dab game is?
Oh, it's got to be strong.
It's no lower than a 7.5. It can't.
Got to be strong.
You can't come
Robots
in.
got dab.
Do what?
Robots got dab game.
Yeah.
Kirby's not a robot though.
You don't think Kirby walks around like he a little stiff sometimes?
Oh, for sure.
Around us, sure. But
Kirby,
You're right.
Kirby doesn't like us.
You're right. He doesn't like us. That's right. That's right.
If you've ever seen him in a setting of people he enjoys being around, or like even on podcasts of like former teammates and players, he is all
moment
smiles.
he walks out of the press conference, Leland's like, "Great job," and Kirby looks at him like, "Type shit." Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if it's like that. I don't know.
appreciate you, G.
Appreciate you, my guy.
All right, I'm a fault we.
Hey, fault with me, twin.
Yeah,
Come on, dog.
I don't think Kirby's talking like that.
Yeah, I
The
think
thought
so either.
of that exchange happening between Kirby Smart and Leland is just hilarious to me, knowing those
shit.
two individuals.
Type shit. Jamal Merriweather to the portal, but I think we got good news without the edits because these 3 football players don't strike me as let me post on Instagram that I'm coming back. Was the deadline officially today to get early declared?
I have no idea.
There's a list sent off.
So.
There's a list sent off today.
I think
I'm
so.
sure legalities allow like you can still get in maybe.
Sure.
But Lawson Lucky, Gunnar Stockton, and Ernest Green
Lawson
were not
did
in this.
put out a graphic.
Lawson
has a
yes.
graphic officially coming back.
Correct.
Yes.
Gunnar, no graphic.
Yeah, the Gunner was
Not
never
a graphic guy.
Gunnar
Might put a new parking decal on his F-150.
Yeah.
Gunner's
That's
in a deer
his
blind
announcement.
somewhere right now. Even though it's not season yet.
Huh?
I said Gunner's
Yeah,
in a
better
deer
not be.
blind somewhere.
In a deer blind?
Yeah, it's
Can't
not
be right
season
now.
yet, but you get the point. He's on a lake.
Are we out of deer season?
Correct.
What are we in now? Duck season?
I don't know.
Rabbit season.
I only do deer season.
I think rabbit season's year round. No, coyotes is because they're.
But anyways, like Ernest coming back, we assume that's good news for an offensive tackle room that needed it bad. You know,
Well, it definitely solves the concern of like who's going to be playing tackle for you next year, because you like the assumption, like at least my assumption is now of you're going to decide if Ernest or Juan Gaston's going to play left or right. Like what would your early inclination be there? Like who gets to play left tackle next year if you had to pick one today?
You call Juan Gaston into the room and you say, "Which one you want, big fella?" And he says, "I want to play next to Donnie." And then you call Donnie and you say, "Which one you want, big fella?" And he goes, "I want to play right." You say, "Okay."
Juan Gaston, you're right tackle now.
That's what
I
you
thought
do.
you were going to say, "Hey, Juan Gaston."
No, I think the best thing for the University of Georgia is for the next 30 some odd games, Donnie Glover and Juan Gaston are tied to the hip, literally.
I gotcha. That makes
So
sense.
whichever they're comfortable with, you let them rock. Like both, dude, it doesn't matter. Like Juan Gaston's gonna be a first round draft pick if he plays tight end at Georgia. I'm telling you, it don't matter if he plays right tackle or left tackle. He's gonna play left on Sundays.
Yeah, and like to the credit that Ernest Green has experience playing left tackle. Like
He's experience playing both.
He does. So it would kind of make sense of maybe putting the decision of what do you feel more comfortable doing one, as opposed to like, hey, Ernest, you got experience playing both. It ain't gonna matter too much.
So yeah, I mean,
some of that will get addressed tonight in our Discord Q&A. We got a lot of great questions from those fine folks over there. I always liked Jamal Merriweather.
yeah,
Never got to see him play. I don't know why I liked him. I know why I liked him. Loved the high school tape. Loved the high school coach.
he wasn't a my guy, was he?
Coming out of high school, may have been. Dude, we're talking 6'7", 300. Go watch that high school tape.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you see him at Georgia, and you're like, oh, this is an NFL body.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't worked out that way. But, I mean, he's
Been some dudes in front of him.
NFL guys.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
So I think that's a guy that ends up going to, like, Memphis or a mid-major and just balls out.
Yeah,
Or like Austin Blaschke type story.
Oh, yeah.
could be.
Go to
mean,
an ACC school.
It sounds like Alu Ba has been playing pretty well at Maryland. I know that he was entering the transfer portal. Then I saw something he was not entering the transfer portal. But then I also saw tweets of these are the schools that he's visiting. But he's been a starter for them for the last 2 seasons that he's been there. I think he's played over like 1,100 snaps for the Terrapins up there.
Terrapin shout. Oh, boy. Now you can terrify the fan base. Go ahead.
All right. And this is, I don't even know if this is going to terrify you as it is just to make you feel very frustrated. Defense has always been the MO of Kirby Smart. Hectic, chaos, causing defense has always been what this program has been built around since he got here in 2016. And what comes with that is the prospect that you are going to get after the football and cause turnovers. It's part of what the complementary football that he always preaches about, where if you can steal possessions and set your offense up with short fields, you are going to win a lot of football games. And Georgia did not do that this year, particularly in the turnover department. I remember all throughout the season, we were kind of looking at each other and kind of said, hey, you know, we need to get more turnovers going here. We need to do something so that we can give Georgia's offense an ability to have short fields and steal possessions. And as I was wondering this day, I went and looked at the data for it to just find out how bad it was. And, buddy, it was not good. Georgia finished the 2025 season forcing 13 turnovers on defense, playing 14 games. For reference, that is the lowest total of the Kirby Smart era and is tied with the 2020 season in which they played 10 games. From 2021 to 2024, Georgia averaged about 20.75 turnovers forced per season. That is a significant and massive drop-off that we've seen. So when you think about it, why couldn't they get off the field on third down? Why was Georgia's offense struggling at times? Why did Georgia's defense seem to have, issues stopping certain players, certain schemes? It's because they couldn't force turnovers. It's because they couldn't do what they've usually done. And that should somewhat terrify Georgia fans for the fact that it's not exactly something that you train for, that you get better at. Turnovers, like we said, are kind of a chaotic thing.
Turnover fairy.
Yeah, the turnovers, the ball bounces your way. Now you can put yourself in positions to be better equipped to force turnovers. However, it feels kind of like Georgia got slightly unlucky a little bit this year, but they also did not do enough to put themselves in a position to force turnovers. Now, if you want to feel better about this on the bright side, The majority of your turnovers came from, or interceptions, I should say, came from KJ Bolden and Ellis Robinson. Both of those guys will be on your defense next year. However, you're going to be very young in the back end once again. You're going to have a lot of new faces, a lot of veteran presence that is not going to be on this roster anymore. So if Georgia can't get, 17 turnovers forced next season, they're not going to win a national championship. So that stat alone should terrify that there has been such a significant drop-off that you need a significant increase coming into next year for this to be an elite defense once again.
All I can think about is 4-3. All I can think about is what a Georgia defense, while Glenn Schumann is still here, would look like playing three backers and playing quarters behind it. They played so much zone, so much keep everything in front of you anyways this year. Why not?
Maybe that's something they go to.
Their star has been so pivotal to their defensive success for 6 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they'll ever do it.
So this would be me explaining maybe the insufficient.
Could you
amount of
imagine
turnovers
Chris
forced.
Cole playing Sam?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I was
Sorry, I'll shut up now.
but maybe kind of explaining. First off, we just talked about it previously. We were talking about Amarius Williams, I should say. You didn't exactly have a great pass rush, and that's usually a way where you generate turnovers. One, if you're getting into the quarterback, you're making them frantic, might be making some ill-advised throws that are certainly interceptable, and then also on top of that, strip sacks. If you're getting home, you have the opportunity to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, and when that isn't happening, that's going to lead to fewer turnovers, I would imagine. Chat hit on a couple things of there were opportunities for them that the defensive backs had the opportunities to make, and a lot of them were dropped. Some pivotal opportunities, I would say, in some games where had a chance to make an interception and it didn't happen. And then because you were so young at defensive back this year, I would say that played a role as well, where you saw Ellis Robinson get a little more comfortable playing the ball in the air, and you saw it late in the season where he's making interceptions. If DeMelo Jones can evolve into that might be helpful. But got to get better at those two things. Now you're going to get better at the age part in the secondary. Those guys have a lot more reps under their belt. Looks like you're going to be better at rushing the passer this next year. But turnovers would certainly be a better thing.
Gotta have it. But yeah, that was kind of the stat I looked at today of this is so much worse than I thought. But
the good news is that the offense didn't turn the ball over either. So that was a way that you could kind of balance things.
And the ironic part of it, this was Georgia's best time of possession splits under Kirby Smart. Despite not having a defense that can consistently steal possessions and limit the time that other offenses have the ball, Georgia basically sat on it all year. I think
It was their most efficient offense under the Kirby Smart era.
Easily. I think opponents
But arguably their least explosive.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also said this to him in pre-show when we were talking about this. Do you think that because it's the most time of possession that a Georgia team has ever had under Kirby Smart, you think time rules change that a little bit?
No, you're talking about the style of play that they went with or the reason they didn't have as many turnovers?
No, I'm talking about
Time
the
of
fact
possession.
that the clock no longer stops when you get a first down. The rule changes have affected the time of possession a little bit.
I think it has.
Yeah, I don't know if it would impact the amount of tilt that there is, but it does from a standpoint of the clock no longer stops. So if you go on a 14-play drive, it might last 7 minutes now instead of 5:45.
Right.
So, yeah, potentially. Maybe they haven't gone that far into the advanced analytics. They were counting plays, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Wasn't when Kirby was asked about this last year, it was a play thing?
Yeah, you
It's
lose
we're
about 11 plays.
He's we lost 2.5 snaps on each side. We were taking 72 offensive snaps. We're taking 75, something like that. So maybe what you're talking about could be potentially there. Here's what I want to do. I want to do the top 5 moments from the season.
Yes.
And I want to go last, not only because I have to go to the bathroom, but because mine are sappy. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I think that was kind of the point of hey.
Oh, you want to love on each other for once?
Between the three of us.
What, you uncomfortable with the phrasing there?
Just a tad.
I mean, love on each other is kind of a crazy phrase, I will say. But
Y'all want to be friendly?
Sure.
You want to be a family for a minute?
Yeah.
All right.
We can
Well,
do that.
let me go to the bathroom right quick, and then we can come back and love on
Me and
each
Jay
other.
will go back and forth between ours in the meantime. Do you want to start with number 5, or do you want me to go first, Jay?
I can start with number 5.
Go ahead.
Mine is a little bit of a mix of moments from actual games this year, and then also just some pure moments that we've had throughout the season. So number 5 for me was the defensive performance against Alabama. Man, that was something that Georgia fans have been waiting for the entire year. It felt like that's what the entire regular season built up to of, man, we've got this young defense. Man, they're so talented. We could see what the ceiling is. We just got to break through that ceiling. And in that Alabama game, they certainly did. I mean, that was a dominant performance. Got turnovers in that game. Just pure dominance from the defensive line. The secondary played really well against those wide receivers. They got after Ty Simpson. They had him running around all day long. Like, that defensive performance, like, it was reminiscent of previous Kirby Smart teams, but it just felt like that's what the entire season built up to, and it was really cool to see them put it all together for one game in the SEC title game.
It's funny that you have that at 5 because that is also my number 5 as well. But just for the game as a whole, after that game ended, and I obviously was not there with you guys, but after the final seconds and they blew all the confetti and they talked about it, I felt so relieved. That game almost felt kind of like a therapy session of how you've gone through this entire decade and a half where Alabama has consistently had your number and consistently found ways to beat you and break your heart. To go in there and not just win that football game, but to dominate it from start to finish and control it, it healed something in Georgia fans' hearts. So that is my number 5 part of the game, of just the way that you won that game against the team that it was. What's your number 4? Or do you want to go?
He wants to go last.
Oh, yes.
Number 4 for me, just the entire road trip there and back from Mississippi State. Now, Starkville, Mississippi, not exactly a bucket list destination, I would say. But from the memories that I have from that trip, just the overall game, like, it was a very enjoyable game to watch for like a noon kickoff and 11 a.m. kickoff, I believe it was out there. Like, the entire game was enjoyable. The pregame stuff that we got to do the night before, where we got to go check out the Mississippi State baseball stadium, the field there, the environment that they put on.
Holy hell.
Man, that was unreal. And then the food that we ate after that, I mean, that was 10 out of 10, some of the best food that I've had in a long time. Staying in a crappy motel, but also wasn't crappy at the same time. Like,
fresh floors.
Yeah, fresh floors, newly renovated, but the outside would certainly have you thinking maybe I should just go sleep in my vehicle somewhere. But that was a good time. So just the trip out there, the trip back, I thought that was one of the more enjoyable road trips that we had this year.
Yeah. My number 4 is the Texas game. It's not very often that in this profession and what we do that we get to actually sit in the stands and be fans of games. And that's exactly what I was able to do for the Texas game. J-Will got credentialed for it. I didn't. We were able
Some
to.
of us were working.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, some of us were.
Here we go again with this.
Shout out Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield was able to hook me up, got me some really, really premier seats. Me, Jazz, and my sister were able to watch the game from the student section. Felt like old times, and by the way, beat the hell out of Texas. Was a fantastic performance from Georgia's offense and defense. Just an overall great night.
It's funny you say that because my number 3 is just the Texas game in its complete form. It was cool to be able to, like, the pregame festivities in that one as well. We got to hit up a couple of tailgates. Some people that we know, some friends of ours, got to hang out with them. We got to watch Texas A&M come back from a major deficit against South Carolina in crazy fashion. Then go over to the game. And, like, the final home game of the season, or, like, what you think at that moment is going to be the final home game of the season unless you get a home playoff game, that's always a special one because it kind of caps off the year. And for that one to be a night game, and, like, in that stage where Texas is fighting for a playoff spot, Georgia is continuing to fight for their SEC championship spot and a playoff spot. Like, for it to boil down to that in an insane environment that Georgia fans put on in the game of it itself, with the onside kick, how Gunnar Stockton played, how the defense played, it was just a great way to cap off home games and really the season in totality at that moment.
Yeah, I forgot that was the senior night, so yeah. Or not senior night, but last, like, night game there. Number 3 for me, the Ole Miss win. The back and forth battle that we had in that game, and I was in the press box for this game. I was working, by the way. J-Will was not, so throw all the slack.
Wait, which game was this?
Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss, okay.
Yeah, I was there for that. But no, the back and forth of that, the anxiety of going of like, Georgia can't stop this team. I don't know how they're going to win this football game. Finding ways to come out of it and come down from 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Lawson Lucky's hat trick, just the emotional rush that you got in the fourth quarter of that game. Very, very special. Great moment. Fantastic. Was glad to be a part of it.
Would you like a fun fact about that Ole Miss game?
Yeah.
A fun fact.
That was the day that me and Morgan found out we were pregnant. It was that morning.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little sad. I found out at the same time as Kirby. I'm competitive. I want to know things first.
We'll see.
I'm still trapped too, brother.
Yeah.
I'm still trapped.
I'm sorry.
Continue.
Good Lord.
I'm petty. You know this about me. You've been around me for 2.5 years. You don't know this about me?
We were just talking about how we wanted to be a family during this segment, and I wanted to let my family know at the same time.
Families are petty. At least mine is.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe the next time around you'll be
bro really said, "I gotta make this about me."
Exactly.
What can I do to bring the attention
Kirby
to me now?
I mean, we don't have camera 1 anymore because my toddlers, but you see it on the wall. You see it on the wall every day.
We don't see it. But yeah, so I thought that just reminded me of that actually. So my number 2 on the season, 4th and 6 to London Humphreys at Tennessee. We were both in the press box for this game. All 3 of us were working on this day.
Yes.
Wait, we get – never mind.
Yeah, all 3 of us at Neyland Stadium.
At road games?
At Neyland Stadium.
But
all 3 of us were there.
There's a trend there. There's only 2 at the home games?
No, some things just work out the way that they work out. And this
For
one,
those
we were
watching,
fortunate
this is
enough.
Brooks being petty right now.
But yes, all 3 of us were there for that one. And I can remember, me and Kirby are sitting there in the press box together. We're having our typical in-game dialogue of like, oh boy, like this is really what it's about to boil down to right now of a 4th and 6, got to convert it. And how Georgia's offense has operated and like knowing what their offense is, you're like, okay, we're going to try and get something quick to either Zachariah Branch or something to Colby Young at the time. And then you see Gunner launch this bomb to London Humphreys in the end zone. It's like, oh, crap.
Wow.
Oh, geez. He
Here
really
we
did
go.
it. And then it
Not
dropped.
the primary read in the progression. It's the whip return from Zachariah Branch, the one he turned down against Ole Miss. But,
Yep. And he drops it in a bucket and
It's
scores a touchdown. And then on top of that, gets a 2-point conversion as well. Man, what a moment that was to look back on in the season. Like, again, the kahunas on that guy to let that ball rip in that moment.
Yeah.
That's Gunner Stockton in a nutshell.
Tennessee is also my number 2 favorite moment of the season for a handful of other – you touched on a lot of ones. The lead up to that game, talking with Tennessee fans, hearing a lot of them, seeing how many of them watch our show and appreciate the stuff we do. Seeing Jay Will house some PB&J beers was a lot of fun.
Man, still think about him.
no tomatoes at the McDonald's. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Very entertaining part of that. The moment that sticks out to me most is when Tennessee is lined up to kick the game-winning field goal, and I look over and he was like, he's got to miss this, right?
Wide right.
Got to be blocked, right?
Oh, yeah. Your Brett Thorson moment.
Wide right. He missed it right. He missed it right.
So that was a lot of fun. Also,
Sounds more like Roy Kent. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, not a part of technically the game day experience, but going back and watching the reactions of the Tennessee fans that thought that kick went in.
Well, that's what I was about to say is even from our perspective, we couldn't tell if it went in or not. And I watched the ball, and I was like, oh, he made it. Like, that's ball game right there. But then I started looking at the fans, and I was like, hold on. I don't hear a loud roar at the moment. What's going on? And then I see the official saying it was no good, and I was like, holy crap, this guy just missed it. We're about to go to overtime.
So, yeah, that moment was a lot of fun.
Got a crowd pop from the Redcoat band that night.
Yeah, you did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Hell yeah.
And then my
Bunch
number
of ball
one
nose over there.
number one moment of the year, this was at Auburn. The Auburn goal line punch-out. I mean, as much as you needed the 4th and 6 play from Gunner Stockton and London Humphreys, you needed this one even bigger this season. Now, ultimately, like you only lost one game this year, so you could have afforded another. But having that play happen in that moment, I mean, it was, of all the moments, that's the one you needed most. Controversial, call it whatever you want, but I love the fact that we got the added context from you of the coaches were telling the players that this is what they needed to do on this play, and they went out there and executed it and did it. I mean, that's Georgia football, man. That's what this staff prides himself upon, what these players pride themselves upon of. In those moments, that's where we exceed. And 2 great veteran football players in C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson answered the call in a big moment, and they executed, and Georgia gets the ball back and comes back and wins when Cam Newton's jersey was retired.
My number
That
one.
petty.
Yeah, it's a rivalry. Going to be petty.
That seemed pointed.
Yeah, Auburn. Yeah.
Okay.
We ruined the Cam Newton jersey retirement.
There will be no Cam Newton slander.
I'm not slandering Cam Newton. He's a great football player, but
He's literally right to your right.
yeah, he is for good reason.
He's looking at you.
He's
right
a
now.
legendary football player. This isn't slanderous
He's
upon
trying
Cam
to
Newton.
stiff arm your take.
I'm
right
just
now.
saying, from a rivalry standpoint, that's a pretty sweet moment.
My number one favorite personal moment from the 2025 season is the most personal, probably. When you grow up as a Georgia fan and you watch the Georgia-Florida game, one of the more underrated, unspoken, exciting moments of that game is if your team wins, the players go and celebrate in the stands with the fan base. It's a very iconic picture. It's always that. It's always a very exciting moment. It was always my dream as a student to be able to see that moment happen firsthand, or maybe even when I was younger, dream as a player until I realized I was probably not going to go D1. So when I was able to go out on the field for the first time and take pictures of that moment happening and be amongst fans and be amongst the players doing that, that was very special. The cherry on top was then Georgia fans in those rows recognizing you and me and calling our names out and going up and high-fiving people like that. So kind of got to live out a small part of a Georgia fan's dream. So that is my favorite moment from the 2025 season.
Well done, boys. Number 5, our collective trip to College Station.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just spending 14 hours in the car with you two guys. It was enjoyable.
Was it that long?
I'm not.
Yes.
On the way home, It was
Yes.
14 and a half. On the way home, it was one straight shot, 14 and a half. We stopped twice for gas.
Okay, I'm thinking Starkville
And once
for
for hit and run in Mississippi.
some reason. Insanity.
So that entire trip, like from Thursday, we left Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday evening.
Yeah, that Thursday to Sunday trip and then hammering a Sunday show at noon, I think that epitomizes our insanity.
Yeah.
And if people think we're crazy, it's because we are, and we love what we do. So that for me was, I'll remember that for a long time. Like the day we're offered private jet access, I'm gonna be like,
That ain't our roots.
that's not how we do it. I don't know, maybe.
No, thanks, but we'll drive the Nissan Altima for
I think
15
Kirby
hours.
would be the one that's like, nah, we probably should, dude. It's way easier.
What?
He's been pretty adamant that he won't.
I
No
am
PJ?
Not, I am
No-
not a PJ.
You're not getting in the metal tube?
Nah, dude.
Okay.
Let's crash more.
Number 4, covering every round of the college football playoff for the first time in our career.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
This show will cover every single round of the college football playoff for the first time ever.
Not
And
just
that's
cover,
really,
be
really
at the
cool.
games.
Yeah, be there. Not just like cover. We've always covered it, but like be there in attendance, credentialed, notified as they are worthy of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's tremendous. So is this. 50,000 new subscribers gained since August to now. That's insane. Shout out to you guys. We wanted to get to 100K. We might get to 100K. I would like to get to 100K. 50,000 in one football season. I'm good there. That's tremendous. I'm obviously not satisfied, but I'm content there. That's awesome. I think those are similes. I'm not satisfied, but I'm happy. That's plenty there. Number 2, I mean this. I'm not saying this. I don't say a lot of things that I don't mean on this network, hardly ever. Not a lot of great parents around, I don't think. Not a lot of dudes that do it right from a fatherhood perspective. I think it is tremendous. It is one of the greatest pieces of news we've heard break on this network. The fact that Jonathan is being a father, because I have no doubt in my mind you're going to be a tremendous father. I think the world needs as many great ones as we can get, and you're going to be a great one.
Oh, thank you.
It would be number 1, except for my son showed interest in watching football with me
that's
this
a cool
year.
moment.
So having him ask me what's going on during K-State, Iowa State this year and wanting to watch it,
Yeah, man.
son.
It's a week 0 game too.
Yeah, he didn't hang on the entire year. He did swing back on me after getting home from Arizona and Atlanta. He was like, "Can we watch football next Sunday?" And I was like, "Well, next Sunday I'll be in Miami." But my wife nudged me. She said, "You told him football's on at any time because YouTube." I'm like, "Well, we can watch football whenever you want." So when I get home, we'll fire it up.
Oh.
So
Get some tape grinding now?
you already know it.
Oh, come on, baby. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Thank you for the sentiment on that as well. But yeah, that's a cool moment with as someone. Even though I'll be a girl dad now, I could potentially share this with my future daughter. But as a father son, like knowing that relationship, like that's a big bond between me and my dad. I'm sure that moment from a father standpoint.
Oh,
is
my
really
daughter
cool.
wants to play catch.
Oh,
My
that's
son's
awesome.
my son's hanging out with trucks and wants to ride the bicycles.
All day long, baby.
Yeah, so you never know. You know, maybe you'll have the first D1 safety female girl.
Oh, I don't know if I don't know if I wanted to put her in that situation, but we'll figure something out
I don't
for sure.
think you would want that. I've seen Twitter. They will not be nice to her. Just say. Anyone remember Sarah Fuller? How did that go? People were not very nice to that lady. Shout out, though.
There's alternative things your daughter could be doing on social media nowadays.
Fair.
I'd take Sarah Fuller.
Fair.
Yeah.
Great point.
This is true.
I'd take Sarah Fuller.
This is
Great
true.
point.
Maybe there's a middle ground. Who knows? I don't.
Discord questions?
Let's bring them.
Ooh, let's do it.
So, we have a Discord. It's attached to our Patreon service, patreon.com/Brooks Sausage. Tremendous place to be year-round. It's a real great place to be during the off-season. This first question comes from @DarkStar on Discord. It says, preliminary look. Did the Dogs address the problems you had with them in the postseason during the portal window? What say you, Jonathan? I say definitely need to take some more stabs at safety. Yep. You did so. I say definitely needed some more twitch at the line of scrimmage. You found it at a reasonable price as well. Like you're not paying
right.
I don't think you're paying like 1.5 for a 10-sack guy. I don't think that was available either, apart from Damon Wilson, and you ain't sniffing them waters. All right, so I think you did address a lot of needs. Even took a body today at the offensive line position.
Sure did. A guy that
out of
started
Alabama
12
A&M
games from the state of Georgia, was high school teammates with Quintavious Johnson at Mays High School. So checks a lot of boxes there when you talk about guys that Georgia looks for in the transfer portal. All things considered, like what we expected Georgia to do in the transfer portal, I'd say they did those things. We expected them to take another body at running back. They got so in the Dante Dowdell kid from Kentucky. The only thing that I would say, or maybe two things that I would say I wish Georgia would have gotten or maybe does get in the next day when the transfer portal officially closes is – one, another wide receiver, like just kind of adding another veteran presence, and a guy that has experience. That would be pretty nice, like in the slot position, someone to go aside Canyon, who you grabbed in the portal, who was a great pickup, and then maybe a guy that played a higher level of college football offensive line, just another depth piece. You know what I'm talking about? Like, this guy doesn't have to be, hey, we can insert him now and start, but from a depth perspective, that would be nice. But also, I'm not privy to know like what the depth pieces are at offensive line, what they have looked like. Georgia might be very satisfied with what they have. I mean, it seems that they are, considering how much they've retained on this roster and the guys that they've recruited over the last 2 years. You know, I was talking to Kirby about this before the show of, I don't know if you guys have looked at the stats from the 2023 recruiting class for Georgia, but it's not great. I think there's 6 players from that class that are still at the University of Georgia.
These are rising seniors?
This would be 2023.
Yes.
Rising seniors. There are 6 players from that class that are still on the roster at the moment. So that's not
and
exactly
there's only
great.
like a few C.J. Allen, too successful.
Yes.
That's why they're not here.
Exactly. So not great numbers from that class, but however, the 2024 class and the 2025 classes, those are off to a great start. And Georgia seems to have a whole lot of belief in those guys, and they put a whole lot of effort into retaining those guys.
Which leads into our next question from K-Dog, or at least my answer to his next question, which is, what do you think Georgia's biggest focus will be this offseason? Getting better. Because what you're talking about, this 2024, 2025, hell, the 2026 class, you build your entire organization off high school recruiting, development, and getting better. So you better get better. You're not like these other football programs that just patchwork 17 players through the portal or go spend $12 million in a 24-hour cycle like we just got done talking about in the National Hour with Texas or with Texas Tech or with LSU or with Ole Miss. You're not this. So if you are going to compete with national titles, you're not Indiana. You don't build your roster that way. If you are going to compete for national titles, if you are going to be a flawless roster, you better get better. Like we're talking about, hey, questions what we have on the roster, did they address them in the portal? One of the questions, wide receiver. No, they didn't address it in the portal. You know why? Because C.J. Wiley and Taylor better be that.
Yeah.
They better be it next year, or else the whole construction of how you do this needs to get rethought. If you can't develop these kids into transcendent, impactful football players, then you don't need to be recruiting really, really what we think to be talented players. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not doing what you need to do with them.
Absolutely.
We need to change our strategy.
And to the credit of that Georgia coaching staff,
they've done it.
The 2025 class looks very promising, and even from guys that didn't necessarily flash this year. Landon Roldan looks like he's going to get real meaningful minutes come next season. Talon Taylor, like you said, C.J. Wiley, Ethan Barber, Elias Williams. Like, these are all true freshmen last season that were getting meaningful snaps in big games.
You did get some insurance with Isaiah Canyon out of Georgia Tech.
Correct.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a guy that y'all probably passed on with intentions to eventually take if it hit out of high school. Like, y'all actively scouted Isaiah Canyon out of high school.
So, yeah, just development as a whole is very important.
Sissisa? SECISA 7? Sissisa?
Sure.
SEC is us.
Oh,
my God.
Who is the new
That's
OL
like free
starter
Shavakadu.
and 2 backups most likely to get burned? We usually need 6 or 7. So here's how I discuss offensive line play. It's the 8. Like, that's the travel squad. That's who makes the quote-unquote bus normally. Back in the day when the travel squads were tight, had to go into conference play and had to narrow down who you get to travel. Normally, an offensive line unit, you travel 8. The 5 starters, 3 backups. The 5 starters, assuming Ernest Green comes back, will be projected on paper this year. Ernest Green, Daniel Calhoun, Drew Bobo, Donnie Glover, Juan Gaston. The 3 players I think that will travel with them are Malachi Tolliver, because you always need a backup center. Michael Unai, who I think is going to compete with Daniel Calhoun at left guard, or whoever competes with Daniel Calhoun at left guard. And then insert promising freshman, which I penciled in to be Zyke Helton.
Yeah,
my guy.
The Zyke buzz has been real, so.
Hey, don't sleep on Tyreek Jimson, though.
No, don't sleep on any of them. I mean, you would assume a lot of investment in Ekene Agboko.
Oh, for
Might
sure.
want to get him that experience of traveling into these big stadiums before we have to play him in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So that could be one of those, swing 8 type of football players. So I think we answered that question in full. An avid listener and one of our primary supporters around here, Joshua Armstrong, says, how does UGA remain competitive in roster construction when we are $100 million behind the 8 ball in terms of NIL banks? So he read some article today. He put it in Discord that I think he was looking at general net worth of programs. And look, here, whether or not how far they are behind the 8 ball, whether or not they're spending like other schools are, it does not matter. Here's what matters. Whether or not Jaron Moorhead can actively and successfully do what he's trying to do, which is bargain with other decision makers to actually let the College Sports Commission have bargaining power, right? Actually have legislative power to actually regulate the sport. And until they do, we're going to have 7 Yankees like we do. We compared it the other day to like having a bunch of George Steinbrenner Yankees back in the 80s and late 90s and early into the aughts before he stepped down, right? And before real salary caps actually entered into baseball. You got like 7 or 8 of those nowadays, and that's the primary problem. Until you can get people to actually legislate that, until College Sports Commission and NIL go actually have weight, none of this matters.
Well, yeah, also the way that, and I think Georgia's done this, the fire passionality thing is a way to mitigate this. They're going to have to find talented players that love football, care about football, and want to play football. They're not necessarily tied up in dollars. The most talented players are typically going to have high dollar amounts. We get that. But you've also found a couple of diamonds in the rough, a couple of gems of guys that will do anything to put their bodies on the line for a team. And I'd say it's paid off so far. Even guys like Zachariah Branch, where he came in, and yeah, he was extremely talented. But early in the season, the talks weren't about, oh my God, the Zachariah Branch kid's really, really good. It was, he's kind of changing the DNA of how this team works out. There was, talks about how him and Zion were always first to the weight room and always leading, stuff like that. They need to go find more of those guys in the midst of this, hey, we might not be able to afford everyone we want.
You think fire, passion, and energy is like forever thing around the program?
Probably. I don't know if it's something that you can just keep spitting out every single year, but, I mean, it's certainly a baseline.
We giving blue caps out in practice?
Yeah, I don't know if we're still doing that, but
I don't even know if we continue that throughout the season.
I would
That
say
was a
that
spring
this is
thing only.
Yeah.
I would say that this is the type of thing that it means enough that it's going to be on the wall for a long time. It's going to be one of those things that you always see in the locker room. But as we know with Kirby Smart, the message always finds a way to stay fresh. So I imagine it'll be something different than that.
I got a biography for him. He can read some Churchill. I'm sure there's something in that. Let's see. Let's get to some more questions. Spanky. My man Spanky says, freshman you think could get real burn coming in the next year. I've got one offensive guy, one defensive guy. All right, so start racking your brain for who you think this might be. Defensive guy I think is an obvious. Valdon Sohn at a position of need, right? Kristen Miller stepping out. You got some snaps available right there. Offensive side of the ball, got rated way too high to be a my guy, but would have been. I was on this stock when he was a lonely 3-star Craig Dandridge. A guy that fast and a guy that much of a playmaker that might be able to just like one touch go. We got to get him some burn.
I'll give All right, I'll give an offensive and defensive guy. Here's a sleeper pick of a guy that
Shout out Sleeper, promo code Brooks, 100% deposit match up to $100.
always shouting out those guys. But this is a guy that has already been with the football team for a little bit now. Was very early, like as early as you could possibly be, as early enrollee. And it seems to be a guy that is just a sound product, very polished already, and can immediately play. And this isn't an indictment to the other guys that they recruited at this position, but Lincoln Keys. I could see that guy finding a way to get on the football field pretty early.
He's a big man.
He is. And like I said, like when we watched the film and his tape, this is a very polished product already, it seems like, coming into the tight end room. And that's probably what it's going to take to play over the guys that are ahead of him already on the depth chart. Bowden Sone's a really good one. And then, I'll kind of just keep the same sentiment that I gave with Lincoln Keys. How about a guy like Kamari Brooks? A guy like Kamari Brooks.
My guy, Kamari Brooks.
My guy, Kamari
Might be
Brooks.
listening right now, Kamari Brooks.
He tends to pop into the chat in moments like this, so we'll know very early on. But yeah, Kamari Brooks, I could see him being a early play guy, just a pure football player.
Ball player.
I'm doing this because I think it's a position of demand. I think Tyreek Green could make some impactful plays if he's the athlete that we believe he is at the safety position. Now, we're all kind of privy to we would like to see him get some carries this year. Probably not in the cards for him, but he's a hell of an athlete, and if he flashes like we've seen freshmen take over that safety position before. Malachi Starks did it. KJ Bolden did it. Tyreek Green could do it possibly.
910 Cooper says, who will Georgia's most impactful weapon be in the passing game this year? Also, gun to your head, RB steak nuggets or McDonald's McFish filet?
Yeah, I just pulled the trigger, bro.
Oh, sheesh.
I ain't eating that shit.
You're that against it?
Look, here's the deal. Hold the tartar sauce. I get down with a McFish.
Never had it.
Now, also, cheese on a fish sandwich. Miss me with that.
Gross.
But, hey, I'd take fish sandwich. I would.
I can do a fish
I was
sandwich.
not currently in the diet, but I'd do a fish sandwich.
I have not tried either, but I would probably say if I had to, I'm going to take the steak.
If I had to pick one thing that is closer to the way it is framed in its name, I would go with the Filet-O-Fish.
All right, here we go. Filet-O-Fish or the McRib.
Oh, the McRib.
But the McRib's total mystery meat.
Oh, yeah, for
At least
sure.
I'm getting basic white cod frozen fish.
But the McRib, I already know. Like, buddy, I was eating McRibs in the school lunchroom. Like, you want to talk about mystery meat?
By
It
the
doesn't
way,
get any more mysterious than that.
Amidst your rant today, the buddy sent me. I mean, that was perfect timing.
My bad, guys.
Shout out Shadur. Where were we at? Taylor, CJ Wiley for the wide receiver question. Young wide receiver. It's just one of those two.
I think Taylor can be the take the top off guy that you kind of lacked last year. That you really, really, really would love to like. It's been long enough. If Arian Smith caught, I don't know, 5 or 6 more balls in 2024, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. So a guy that can get past the secondary and be that fast, I think Taylor can be that.
Jacob Darnell wants to know, boxers or briefs, whitey tighties?
Oh, really?
Hell no.
Wow.
Bro, if you out here purchasing whitey tighties nowadays, it's straight to an FBI list. Straight to a CIA list, going straight to hey, watch out for that guy. Something's going on. You watch his internet search history. Something's happening.
Yeah.
I'm a briefs guy. I like
rotate.
some structure in my life, not too much. You can't let me be a free soul though. But in the summer,
I'm a boxer briefs guy. I don't like when they're like riding up deep on the crotch, but I also don't like just the loosiness.
Depends. I think you need the loosiness.
Oh, you wear Depends?
Dang.
I'm 2 for 2 on dad jokes.
1 for 2. I'll give you that one. That's a score. That's a score.
That was
That's a
You
home
wear
run,
diapers
dude.
is crazy.
Sheesh.
It's so quick.
he was gonna say it again, dude. He doubled down on the
The
Depends.
weather. That's the determining factor for me.
Yes.
You know,
how much gold
the
bond do I
humidity
have
down here
accessible?
don't play.
I don't think I own a pair of boxers. I think I'm straight briefs.
I've got like lounge around the house boxers, or like sleeping in boxers.
Man, the bachelor life right there.
out here rocking boxers. Yeah. In the house. If I want to just rock boxers, I'll grab a pair of shorts and
Well, that's why I'll put shorts over. I'll put shorts.
Free balling.
Here you go.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm out here with that style out in the summer for sure. Okay, on to the next one. Chaz Chambliss Stan He got good taste.
Good name.
Good taste. From what you saw from the more successful offenses you studied this year, what are some things schematically you'd like to see UGA lean into more, whether that's passing concepts or more structural changes? So you're not a bells and whistles football team. As long as Kirby Smart's here, I don't believe that to be the case. With as much play action as you guys did, I would like to see some like traditional running back toss-back screens, things like that. With as much quarterback rollout as you do, I would like to see that. That requires further development in the arm talent of your quarterback, though. We got to be able to throw it from multiple slots because when we throw screens, we're inevitably going to give up pressure. That's the point. We want them to rush the spot, and then you got to find alleys and windows to throw to. But most importantly, who's the most underrated offensive lineman in the Kirby Smart era? I got one right off rip.
I'll answer the first question.
I know which one I'm going with.
Do you know which one I'm going with?
Probably.
Who?
I'm going to – Warren McClendon?
Nope.
Okay.
Same era. This was sloppy.
Jamari Sawyer.
Nope.
That's
good sloppy body, though.
That's probably my answer.
Great sloppy body. Saul McKinley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Saul McKinley's most underrated offensive lineman to ever play at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was just rock solid for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think
had no business being a starter, but just kept beating everybody out.
Yeah.
I think he was like a Mark Richt fringe take, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think there was some overlap there.
For me, it'll always be Warren McClendon just because, one, he got overshadowed all the time. He played right tackle, all the flashes over there.
He's
left
getting
tackle.
overshadowed in the league right now.
Yeah,
how well
and he's been
playing.
starting for multiple seasons now in the NFL. So, I mean, that's just an NFL guy that really nobody was talking a whole lot about just because of who else was on that offensive line.
C. Graham wants to know, will spring games continue to decline in number? We saw a decent number of schools opt out of those. Do we see more this year? In fact, I foresee the rebirth of spring games because we have one transfer portal window. Unless coaches are full of stuff. And you know what stuff I'm talking about. They all blamed it on the portal window. Why would I advertise my roster?
Right. Why would I give up the goods?
Hey, buddy, you're going to advertise your roster 12 times over in about 6 months, so you better advertise it now.
Yeah, no, I think that the spring game is a good thing for teams just as a whole to be in that game environment for freshmen to have.
Will you Google Chip Kelly for me?
Sure.
Something going on?
Someone asked me in TikTok, did you speak on Kelly to Ohio State? Did Chip Kelly get rehired at Ohio State?
I'm talking about Dom Kelly.
Dom Kelly. I'm an idiot. Why this thing's on? What you got?
But no, being in a game-like environment is very good for freshmen. It's very good for young players. I think that's what's mainly for that development process. So yeah, I think you're going to see an increase of these spring games.
With some of the departs. Oh no. This one comes from Chase2517. Last question of the night. What does Gunner, from both a passing and rushing perspective, need to improve on this offseason?
Protecting himself.
I like that.
Hey, I
Let's
love
stop
it.
dying.
I love it as much as anybody else does when Gunnar Stockton is willing to lay his life on the line for his team in this offense. It's awesome. And I love that him and Tim Tebow got to have that moment after the SEC championship game of, hey, Gunnar, why don't you slide? And he's like, I don't know. And him and Tim Tebow just give a fist bump. Like, yeah, I respect that.
Give the accent. Come on.
No, not for this. Because this is coming from me, all right? This is me speaking to Gunnar Stockton. I care for your well-being. I don't know if we can go another 13, 14, or hopefully 16 games, whatever it is, of doing that. We need you in the starting lineup, and we need you healthy.
Yeah, Brooks Austin with Dongs Daily on SI. Gunnar, a lot of talk this offseason about you being able to protect yourself. What are you going to do this offseason to make sure next year you're not on main dying every snap?
Just play football, man. Maybe get a little stronger in the weight room, callous the body a little more. But that's just football, man. I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure the team wins.
God, it's so good, dude. It's so good.
The more and more time I spend around Jay Will, it's a talent of his. Every impersonation I've ever heard from him, I'm like, you know what?
So
not half bad. What was the one you dusted? I'm not going to make you do it right now. You dusted one off the other day out of nowhere. First time ever tried it, and I'm like, damn.
Oh, it was the Richard Sherman Crabtree.
Yeah. Like, bro, a clip that has not gone viral in like 10 years, and he ripped it bar for bar, word for word, sound for sound, like emphatically with him. Impressive.
Yeah.
I think you got a talent. think we ought to lean into that town a little bit more.
My
for
wife
content
has told me
purposes.
that before, but it's one of those things of
You're just saying that 'cause you love me?
Yeah, you love me, and
Yeah.
you think it's funny, and you think I'm good at it. I don't know if it's something that I'm just gonna. So you guys, I'm comfortable around enough to where I'm like, all right, I'll dust this one off and give it a go.
Question: what does one pack for 72 and sunny and 55 at night? Pants and shirts?
Oh, dude, that's hoodie shorts.
Shorts and a hoodie, dude.
Shorts and a hoodie,
So
baby.
a layer one way or the other. But guys, I'm not sure. I'm not walking around areas where I need to be rocking the hoodie and shorts. You know what I mean?
All right, here's what you get.
Talk to me.
You get either just some, like, do you have, like, athletic type khakis, like golf pants? Perfect. That'll work for you. A nice collar shirt and maybe a zip-up jacket to where if it gets hot, you can take it off, but if it's cold, you can zip it up all the way.
But then, if you can't be lingering with the jacket. I think I just might bite the cold.
You don't want to tie the jacket around your hips.
My wife does that in public when she's wearing yoga pants, and I do appreciate that of her. She's so decent, I ain't got to worry.
I do it like people are wearing the fanny packs, so we do it over the shoulder. And
A
tie it
Manny
around.
pack. Now, this I could get into. You think I could pull a Manny?
I don't think you
pack.
can fit a jacket in a fanny pack, but it is. They are becoming trendy now again.
Maybe I'll just hire a butler for a week and just be like,
I don't know. I mean, we're about to.
or are
reach,
you free?
Damn.
You know the conversation we had before the show?
What's that?
We just got an answer to that one.
What? No way. You guys think I would really make you do something like that? No. Y'all were talking shit about me behind my back.
It wasn't anything bad. It was more so like of the status of our show and like if we continue to grow and roles grow.
Brooks would get a personal assistant, man.
Like if you had a personal assistant, what would the things you would have them do? There's one of them.
Carry
you
your
get to carry
jacket.
around the
No,
jacket.
honest, I do not mean this demeaningly. You do a lot of the things that I feel like I'm not good at, so I ask other people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm terrible at scheduling.
Yeah.
So you do that for me.
yeah.
Don't tell the IRS that. You do my working schedule. So like I don't know what he would do, the things that I don't want to do anymore, like cut clips but we're already
Right.
farming a lot of that stuff out.
So no, it wasn't anything bad.
Carrying a
There's nothing
jacket's
bad.
hard, man. I get it.
Carrying a jacket's hard work.
You do it so well.
I'd get one of them PJ Fleck type assistants. Here's my phone, text that guy like this. Or like, you ever seen them videos of the president where he's like, here's the tweet that I want. And then he goes through it. He's like, all caps. Maybe something like that.
Okay.
We hiring. No, I'm just kidding. We are not. I do not need 7,000 DMs. We are at a threshold right now with regards to a budget. I love you guys. We're going to Miami, or at least I am. Oh, my God, I'm blind. We'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.